Hello, everyone. Before we begin tonight's episode, I wanted to acknowledge, at the time of recording, we had recently gotten the news that we lost a crew member in Matt Harris, or as we knew him, Big Hat. We at Unpaid and Underrated wanted to take a second to acknowledge the life that he lived, the loving family he had, and the caring family he chose with us at the Massonomics supporting crew. We are deeply touched by the outpouring of support given to his family by so many familiar names in the crew, as it shows that we may be here for our own reasons individually. We are here for each other as a collective. As you listen to today's episode, please remember Big Hat. And please understand that there is no perfect way to grieve. If you need help for this, or anything else emotionally or mental health related, do not be afraid to reach out to a professional, or even to a trusted friend or someone in the crew. We may not have the answers, but we have a shoulder and an ear. Thank you. Please enjoy tonight's episode.
And welcome back to episode 74 of the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. We are a podcast by crew for crew. I'm one of your hosts, Big Keith, joined as always by my good buddy Joey.
Hello.
And our special guest this week, the birthday girl herself, Big Hannah.
Hello.
Now, it is unconfirmed if it is her birthday or not. Grayson wasn't sure when I asked him this morning, so the TBD on that. But
we'll never know. There's no way to
I forgot to ask him too.
It's impossible to know when Hannah's birthday is.
But yeah, this is us. Welcome back for another week. What are you drinking over this weekend, Hannah?
Well, we got some Liquid Death, and I'm stealing a little bit of clout with Grayson's Hall of Fame cup.
We'll allow it. It was
for the listeners at home. Yes. Well, it is actually. We're going to start off with this. Great. I'll never reach that status because half of our things are intertwined with episodes listened, things ordered. It was all on his phone. It was all stuff that he ordered. So my statistics are looking a little low.
Well, I think I even saw, didn't he say he didn't even have an account on the website? And I'm like, Grayson,
Yeah.
how do you not have a Massonomics account? I don't know. I chuckled at that because I don't know. I
You'd have Tanner reach into
I always make sure I'm logged in before the drop, so it's just that much easier to where it's just like boom, boom, boom. You check out.
Tanner had to reach into the archives to prove that.
Good stuff.
That's okay. Tanner didn't believe that I've been on the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. He said he needed some clarification.
Were you able to find proof?
No. I said, yeah, I was on the first episode when Nate interviewed me and Keith.
That was it. That's good stuff. That was a good episode. Episode 000, I believe. I'm also rocking out a Liquid Death this week. I got the mango chainsaw. It's okay. It's alright. It's nothing special, but it is better than more repeated drinks that I usually do.
All right, I've got my giant thing of water with the I Survived the Arnold Bathrooms and the Future Corpse Club sticker that I decided to decorate. And being tomorrow's a holiday and I don't have to wake up at 8 a.m. A Keats or 8.
I am jealous. It is not a holiday. I mean, Good Friday is not a holiday. Most just regular businesses,
Really? In Canada, we all whole country shuts down.
Yeah. Do you get Monday off too or anything? Or is it just the Friday?
No, just the Friday is a national holiday. So we get a paid day off. And then Sunday, I get an unpaid forced day off. So,
okay.
Yeah, one day work this weekend. Yeah, who wants to be unpaid?
Yeah, we don't. I don't have any of those holidays, sadly. Hannah, looks like you're wearing something fancy over there. What you got? You got a little.
I have
a little archive.
OG Black Massonomics tea.
The Black Massonomics with the white font. That's not a very common shirt. I don't.
I need another one. I think I ripped one of the armpits somewhere. I thought.
Cut them off.
time to be sleeveless.
Where we're going,
it just snowed here the other day. It just snowed here the other day again. So probably not. I'll probably keep the caps on for a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. Yeah, I think I don't know if it was just the Midwest or I don't know. I definitely got it out here in the Northeast that we got hammered with like 3 or 4 inches of snow out of nowhere. I was like, oh, cool, this is great. I'm rocking one of my well, it's a repeat purchase, but in the right size now. The blank that fits me that so I got the curl shirt. So got that one when they dropped what was left after the Arnold. I still have not got my lift shirt. My best friends that were there at the Arnold in person have picked one up for me. Forgot to bring it when they came over for my lift party. So I was like, I'll get it next month when I see you. Not a big deal. But that one will be worn again in the future, hopefully. But I'm gonna use the curl shirt in the meantime.
The lift shirt.
Yeah, the Tango Charlie one, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't you just order from Tango Charlie and get it faster?
They just posted about it again.
They did.
Oh, you could go to that brick and mortar store out in Virginia.
Do you know the only place that shirts exist is an actual store.
Brick and mortar. I don't know if you guys know that it's brick and mortar, but oh boy, is it ever brick and mortar. It's so fresh. Like literally the last half an hour, just like refreshing. Going like, what is happening?
Because they blocked the chat for a while, and like I had to go to my other one of my other Instagrams to actually see it. Because I don't know if they blocked me because I called them douchebags or not, but I don't know. Well, no, they did not do it from the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. I will no longer do bullying of Tango Charlie and Tango Charlie affiliates from Unpaid and Underrated.
Yeah, we need that Instagram.
Yep.
I actually we can bump off one of my topics here by talking about the shirt I'm wearing. So I have my Dodzilla Deadlift Dungeon shirt, and I apparently not apparently, I acknowledge I owe some apologies. Last week I had said nobody ever wants to send me packages because I'm in Canada, completely ignoring that Trond and Dammy and Dodzilla like all went out of their way to send me packages and paid the extra handling and everything. And here I was like, no. So like, yeah, I was just being a baby. I get packages all the time from great friends.
I think the only thing that I've gotten podcast-ish related that you didn't, I can't even say that, well, because neither of them might not be 100% podcast. Because be my personality in the Discord deserved me these, but Tanner sent me the Anchorman socks as a bit, and then I got the bag of dicks last week, so I don't know that you wanted either of those, but I can't think of anything else that I've specifically got. And if anything, I should be the one mad because Dodds didn't send me a goddamn shirt, buddy.
Hey, Dodds is only like a day away from me, actually, so we established that.
He's up in Michigan, right? Yeah.
Hey, Keith, how'd those dicks taste?
So honestly, I made the joke about them like they tasted kind of stale last week, but I've literally only got like 3 left, so I've eaten like 80.
I think you should eat them on camera right now for me, please.
I posted a funny picture I thought it was funny with the dicks on the microphone, but yeah, so it was it's not gonna. There we go. Kind of shows up. So,
so they don't taste good, but he's gonna swallow them anyway.
Well, no, they're better now. I don't know what it is. It's like they had to air out or something. They just maybe when they were all
they aged together, well.
Yeah.
Heath Schneider is. Now he knows what it's like. They don't taste good, but I'm doing it for Hannah. Anyway, was it you that sent them? Is that
it wasn't?
Okay. No. I thought that was like, I want to watch you eat them on camera. Put the lotion on the skin.
It was a long con. Yeah, I waited the whole time for them to be shipped over there just so I could wait another week or so to watch them eat it.
It would be funny. I think we do a couple more. I know Big Hogan said he sent something out via Amazon to both of us. So that's, I guess I'll probably get mine next week and we'll wait 3 months to get yours. So I'll have to make sure I don't open it. So.
All right. What's next? What do you got on there? Want to rate last week's episode? The mystery guest?
Sure. Yeah. Who was it?
Oh, I skipped most of it. As soon as I heard who it was, I was like, I don't need to hear this guy's voice for another 2 hours this week.
I saw the thumbnail and I'm like, oh, brother.
The fact that they used our picture, like our little Keith Heads picture, that was great.
When I saw that Sunday night, I started rolling. So I was proud of myself for keeping it a secret. So I don't think I haven't really. So Tanner basically messaged me at it was 6:30 last Tuesday. He was like, "Hey, do you want to be on the podcast for a bit?" Like no specification. I didn't know the guest had canceled at that point. I assumed they were still having the guest and that they just wanted me to talk about Tommy's gym for 10 minutes or something. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's awesome. And he was like, we're gonna talk about Tommy's gym. So I was like, I over prepare for everything, obviously. So I started a new Word doc real quick and, jotted down like 30, literally, in like a matter of 5 minutes, I had like 30 bullet points of like, yep, this will be good to touch on if we don't do it. And then I was like, okay, cool. I can cover all this in like 10 minutes. And then, you know, once they started the episode, and mentioned that the guest had canceled, I was like, oh, fuck, I might actually be on this thing for a minute. Still didn't think I'd be on as long as I was. I thought it would be a shorter segment, but we just, kept on chugging away. The hardest part about it was I had never logged in on the laptop to watch their podcast on Zoom. So it's like the exact same setup of what I'm doing right now, podcast, and when I do other podcasts, like just sitting in my computer chair looking at a laptop because I didn't want to be logged in on my phone and the laptop, and I wanted to have the laptop ready to go for when I did get on. So it was just weird, like having them just be full screen and not being able to interact for the first 45 minutes. And I was like, oh, I have something to say, but I'm not on the podcast, so I can't. But then we got on. It was fun. I had a blast. It was actually the most anxious I've been, probably waiting for like the the end of the podcast because I ended up having to dip out because it was fucking midnight, like, and I was like, I gotta get up at 5 a.m. and drive 3 hours to work. I'm going to bed, guys. So I kind of like segued my way out of that episode just on the tail end. But then when I got off, I think they were like, holy shit, that was like an hour and a half. I was like, yeah, I can talk about home gym equipment for a while. But since I do love myself and I'm pretty awesome, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5 out of 5 Massonomics Gym iPod touches, and I'm curious to hear you guys rip me apart.
Joey, are you ready to rip?
Yeah, home gym equipment, all this equipment talk bores the shit out of me. So,
skip.
Yeah, I definitely listened to all of it. Like, I'm kidding. Like, I definitely went through and listened to it, and it's just like, I think my favorite part was when you finally apologized to Bells of Steel. I'm glad that you did that on like camera and on the podcast because I think they really deserve that apology from you, Keith. So for that, I'm going to give that 5 iPod touches for the Massonomics Gym.
I love listening to you guys yap. It's great. No notes. My favorite part is the like 15-20 minute like Midwest goodbye that they did after you hung up. It sounded like they were like also ready to just be done when you got off, and then it just kept going. It's great. 5 out of 5.
Well, when I get off, the party is usually over, so I feel that. So 5 out of 5, Big Kev. Go ahead and mark that down for the for the Orange Glaze episode. 5 out of 5. YouTube videos. I'm trying to remember if there was any last week we didn't cover. I'm not. Maybe the girl with the big boobs, I think, and then
watched it for sure.
Yeah, so that was pretty short.
I think I had I think I had the best comment on that one video.
Yeah.
I deserved a little thumbs up for that one at least, because when she said that she has the number 2 boobs in the world, I said number 2 in the world, but number 1 in our hearts.
Nice. I couldn't imagine if there's someone that, and she was kind of like throwing shade at the other girl. She was like, it's been
unconfirmed,
unverified for the last 15 years or something. And I'm like,
I think she needs to take a flight to Germany.
Yeah.
How do you not verify that? Just go measure some titties, like.
But is it mass? Is it weight? Is it vol? Like, how do you equate like sheer when you're that big? Like, obviously, if you're like comparing, like, yeah, like a D cup is bigger than a C cup, but she said she's out of the alphabet and she has to get her shit custom made. So it's like,
that's true.
I think when they're that big, they have to go by weight almost, because like size is irrelevant, because one could be a foot deep, but like not as wide, but the other one could be wider, but not as deep. No, and I'm not exaggerating. That woman's breast was over a foot.
You should calculate the area of her boobs.
Yeah. I mean,
how many oranges? How many oranges would fit in her boobs?
Can I mean median in motorboat those? Now, David, that was funny because mode and motorboat sound so.
Is he still here? No, he took off.
No, but all the Davids sound the same.
All the Davids, yeah, we have to explain jokes to them.
Yep, that is my new favorite bit, though.
I'm glad that you said that you feel the need to justify knowing that you're funny, because I had that conversation with Grayson earlier that I do that all the time. I'm like, you are going to laugh because this is why I'm funny. And then you get to hear why my brain is so smart and yours is not.
That is my spirit animal speaking right there.
Having to explain thought process when you're a little spicy, right? Like, I think we call it narrow spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so come with me on this trip, because I explained the whole thing to my wife. Okay, we were listening to just random music, and Ghost came on. No, sorry, Sleep Token came on. Do either of you know who Sleep Token is?
Mhm.
Okay, so I was listening to The Summoning because that song is a hell of a song, but that song is so grandiose and so my brain couldn't remember the word, so I started thinking operatic. And that's when I was like, operatic isn't the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for something else. And then I started
It
thinking about
makes
how
sense though.
it does, right? Because it follows not normal like music signatures or whatever. And then I started thinking about how Ghost covered Phantom of the Opera because that's pretty operatic. Then I started remembering that Meatloaf, all of his stuff was written by a guy who wrote musicals. So we went from listening to Sleep Token to me putting on 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad. And Morgan's like, what? I was like, oh, yeah, here's what my brain just did in 30 seconds. And
Yep.
and you'll never track that unless I literally explained step by step how we went from Sleep Token to Meatloaf.
And you're not even thinking. Your brain's just driving, and that's where it goes. You're not like thinking, I'm going to go this place, this place, this place. And then someone asks, you're like, not sure.
Yep. Nope.
It's easy to get there, but it's very hard to draw the map sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's why Keith is funny.
You heard it here first, folks.
I'll take it.
Yep. I said Keith is funny out loud.
And then there was one more that hit today. I watched it very, very distracted, so I didn't take a ton away from it. I think there was like 1,000 things going on, but it was the specialty barbell video that they did. I always like it when they're both in Massonomics Gym. It's always kind of cool for me. There was a couple, shaft puns and cleaning the brush or cleaning the bar with a brush. Tanner had a couple witty jokes that I appreciated, but. I definitely probably should rewatch that video. I don't think I gave it the full attention that I normally do. But
what was the favorite bar?
They opened it up with their pick was both the Elite FTS safety squad bar.
The one that Tommy's not going to put in his gym.
Yeah, I hope he catches the bug and has an SSB in the next like 6 months or less, ideally. But it took us 3 years to get him to. Well, I'm exaggerating. He's been in Crew Falls for over a year, so it took him. Because he was at the townhouse for over a year, and then he's been in the house for less than a few months. But it didn't take more than a few months to get him to decide to do the home gym, which we all very glad he finally figured out that was the way to go.
I like the honorable mention, the Earthquake Bar. I miss being in that gym. That was my favorite.
I don't know what an Earthquake Bar is or does. I've heard of it, but
it's bendy. It's like flexy. And you take the way most people use it is you take like kettlebells or something and like a resistance band and like loop it around and have it on the end. So it's a lot of like extra like motion. It's more for like stability work than it is pure strength. Doing overhead press and like bench with that thing is gnarly.
I can imagine.
Exciting.
You don't have to put like 20 pounds on it and you come down and it's like, oh, it's awesome.
All right.
Indeed.
Should we move on to the
sell it?
Yes. Actually, speaking of selling, why don't you tell everybody about our sponsor?
All righty. Have you ever thought about how to get big, stay big, and use your big? Look no further than Western Northeast South Dakota for Massonomics, a vast community of silly geese well-versed in the art of lifting things and putting them back down. The strongest gym in Aberdeen has carefully curated a crew you can turn to for good deals, good times, and the crispiest apparel on the market. If you've ever wanted to hear two guys talk about their favorite gym equipment and rate sparkling waters, your call has been heard. No matter where you need Massonomics, no matter your need, Massonomics will be there indeed, because when you're here, you're big.
Indeed, and that's why we call you Big Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to guest on horn, I just wanted to briefly touch base on, more Massonomics, kudos essentially, and just the community and the family we've all built here in the last few years. So everyone who's listening to this probably knows by now we lost someone. We lost a crew recently, Big Matt. And the way that everyone came together to show support to his family and in his time of need, I literally sat there and counted. There was at least 30 recognizable names on the charity, and there was probably at least another 10 plus that I know went in anonymous with their donations. And there was saw a couple of 69s in there too, which we all, that was great. So really appreciate Crew stepping up and doing that for his family. That's why we're here. That's awesome. Like that makes me so proud to be in this community that we came together like that. And, this man's family's time of need.
Supporting members, supporting members. I think I coined that phrase as soon as they started doing the supporting members thing. I said that about us, I think. And that's definitely what happened there. Good work, everybody. We were watching, for frame of reference, I was watching The Dark Side of the Ring and John Tenta, Earthquake, if you remember him. By the time he died, he was selling suits in the mall. And WWE didn't even show up, didn't even send flowers. And Morgan turned to me and she went, "You guys showed up better than Vince fucking McMahon did." And that's exactly how cool the Crew is. So good work, everybody. I mentioned that briefly in the Discord. I thought I'd give that little explanation. Keith is chewing on dick, so he can't say anything right now. Is that the last dick or is there more?
There's one more I'll save for the end, probably. I'll probably eat a dick when I see you next Tuesday.
Use that dick to finish you off. Okay, we're gonna. Should we get our guest on the horn?
Yeah, let's. I'm not sure if there's any looky loos, but if there are, let's kick them out and see if we can get Big Hand on the horn.
No, I don't see anybody.
Deal.
All right, Big Mana, is that you?
Oh, hey guys, yes. Hello.
You are live on Unpaid and Underrated.
Greetings, Crew.
Howdy.
Okay, so first time on the podcast. First time on any podcast?
First time on any podcast.
All right, we win. We did it. What brought you here? What brought you into Massonomics?
Well, it's probably not as exciting as other stories, but as many of you know, I am with Big Grayson, and we have been together over 7 years. So pretty much this whole time has been Massonomics time. He lifted at the OG gym. I think he knew Big Ross from back in like middle school or high school when they worked at like a car dealership together. And so he knew Ross the longest. And so when I came along, then I just got to meet everybody. I've been at all the strongman showdowns and lifted at the gym for a brief time when we were still living in Aberdeen. So I've kind of just been here for the whole ride. I was Crew adjacent for this entire time until Crew Falls, when I finally got strong-armed into joining. But I've kept up on everything because Grayson likes to tell me what's going on.
So you might as well join because you're going to hear about it anyway.
I sure am.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think the only bone we would pick with you in that story is that from what I think everyone's point of view is that Grayson's with you. You're not with Grayson, right? And that's how we look at it.
I'm not even sure who you guys are talking about.
I don't know. I mean, wasabi, what?
oh, spicy guac.
Yeah, spicy guac and fish.
So again, if people wanted to find you, where are they going to find you? I don't know you don't love social media but if people did want to find you or you wanted them to find you, where the best place to go?
I don't love Instagram. I am chronically a lurker on every platform I'm on, so I don't really post much anyway. But you can find me at h.bowling with an H instead of a W on Instagram.
All right.
I won't share my Twitter handle.
No, that's fine. But
what the fuck is Twitter?
I won't say X.
What's your handle on Discord so people know who's talking?
Yes.
Because that's would definitely throw people off, I think, if they weren't familiar with you already.
Big Mana on Discord, and it's too bad you guys don't put videos online. I was going to make sure everybody knew who was talking and reference my photo here.
Oh, Mad Cow.
So I can.
For the viewers at home, I've got the same hat on that I have in my Discord picture.
Gotcha. Just missing the mustache.
Yeah, I lost it that night. It's long gone. It's in the streets of Sioux Falls.
So initially from Aberdeen or not?
Correct. Yep, I am from the Holy Land, Aberdeen.
Gotcha. I know you guys. I think we hit on all that with Grayson. So you guys are pretty much together. So was it Watertown at all? I think, or just right to Sioux Falls, I
Watertown
think.
for school and then right to Sioux Falls after. Yep.
That works. Gotcha. And you guys said you were looking at houses recently. Is that what we heard, or different places?
Yes, we secured one this afternoon or yesterday.
Awesome.
So we're finally out of this dorm style apartment that we've been stuck in the last 3 years.
All right, good news. Congrats. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news.
You heard it here first. A lot of firsts tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, born and raised in the Aberdabber. Are you going to be live hard, live easy? Are you coming out for the trip?
Of course. I got 3 days off.
Nice.
Hell yeah. That's like
ready for a nice long week to be there.
I was gonna say that's 3 out of 5 of the days that you're gonna need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real.
Because we have to be there on Thursday for karaoke, right? That was
I was about to say that.
You threw the hook out, so
I regret that immediately. I haven't sang karaoke since my kid was born, so it's been 5 years. And I was just like, ha ha ha! I heard the zoo does karaoke, and then everybody was like, "I'm in." All right, I'm like, "Oh no." I think I just committed to this.
You did. Yep.
I just want to go to Pounders. That's all.
I bet you do. Probably Pounders and then the zoo, right? Like, let's all be really hungover for weigh-ins.
Yeah, that'll be
nice and dehydrated, right?
Yeah. It works for me.
Yeah, you do say that. It still throws me off, but I guess I never.
Well, no, you don't get hammered. Myself. You have like 2 or 3, right? You drink a shitload of water, and then you have like 2 or 3 beers so that it's like a cheap water cut, right? Because water cutting is next level stuff I'm never going to get involved in. I'm not doing any of that business. But like, you drink 2 liters of water in the morning,
drink some beer,
then you have a couple beers or whatever, and then your body's like, get rid of everything, and then you're just like 2 or 3 pounds less the next day.
So did you want to we always let people talk about jobs if they want. That's up to you. You had mentioned you got time off of work, so anything you wanted to let people know about, so it's just an icebreaker if they meet you in person.
Yeah, I have a lovely work from home job through the VA system here.
Awesome.
I just started that a little over a year and a half ago. I was doing physical therapy before that.
Okay.
I was doing home health physical therapy. So I was traveling in between every single appointment. And there's some weather here, and I don't like that. I've got stranded a few times. And sometimes being alone in people's houses is scary. So I got out of the job.
That's understandable for sure. But working with the VA, you must be familiar with the the people that created Tango Charlie, then, right?
Oh of course, they're
veteran founded apparently, but just not currently veteran owned. So
I was wondering what VA meant, and I was gonna ask, and now I clued in.
Veterans Affairs,
Good
Mr.
work.
Canada. Yeah,
we all got there. We got there together.
I still like almost a year later. I still don't catch. I don't think either of us catch on that. Like, we'll be talking for a couple minutes, and the other person has no clue, just because the Canadian American just differences of. Because he was like, why is Joey looking at me all funny? And I was like, oh, he doesn't understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, but I can pick up things.
Oh yeah, context clues are good stuff. Working from home's got to be nice, especially out there, like you'd said. So that's cool. We're great. Can't wait to see you guys in Aberdeen. So I mean, you're already wearing a pretty awesome piece of merch. So would you say there is one piece that you wish you had that you don't currently have?
Oh, the only thing I can think of off the top of my head, and I have no idea what it's called. I didn't even bother trying to look. It was that shirt. It was red and it had the lady on it. She had blue hair.
The pinup. The pinup. Yeah.
Yes, that one. Yes. I wish I would have got that one. I just never ordered it. No reason.
Yeah, I don't even have that one.
Yeah, I don't.
I like that you bring this up because last year, I know, Keith, we didn't get to talk to you at Pounders last year, and Joey, you weren't there. I showed up wearing quite the antique shirt that Tanner and Tommy don't even have.
The raglan.
And yes, the baseball tee. It's my favorite shirt. And so Grayson and I have something cooked up for showing up to Tanner's party on Friday.
Okay.
With that in mind.
Okay, because so do I. I've already got it made. it has been impossible not to wear that. Like now I've got to sit on this thing for like however many months, and I got him, and I'm looking at him, and I'm just going like, I don't fucking wear that right now. So that's funny that you're gonna do that. Like we're gonna have a like okay, like there's gonna be a fashion.
I think it was an unspoken thing that because Damager wore the that patchwork one that he got. And I think people are gonna show up in some rare gems, and we all just decided on our own we were gonna try to one up each other this year.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything really good. Like it's
gonna just be a fashion show. Yeah, Tanner. You're gonna have to build a catwalk.
Dude, and the rains were so fucked on that Friday. Hope he has like a hall for 150 people.
Line the catwalk with cactuses so that we, Eddie can kick some over. Eddie
can knock them down. Oh god, that's my fucking favorite memory of that Friday. It really was. Oh, that was good stuff.
All right. So this was the first shirt you ordered 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're Hall of Fame adjacent. I heard
almost. Yep. Pretty much.
How many points do you have? And I think we could continuously add this as a thing.
So I definitely, if we're going to consider the joint points that I helped Grayson get, the orders, the 10 orders for sure. And then he hasn't listened to the whole backlog of Mathnomics yet, but there are so many episodes that we listened to together on his phone when we were driving that I have no record of listening to on my phone. Otherwise, being crew adjacent for 7 years, it didn't help me with the 2 spots where you're supposed to be a crew member for a year and 4 years. I really shot myself in the foot with that one. But as of tonight, being on this podcast, I only have 5.
Still a lot.
More than 0.
More than 0. If you're wondering why I keep making a stupid face, I changed a beer. So my wife decided she was going to get me a different beer. And it just tastes like perfume. So I'm not enjoying it.
Is it a good perfume?
No. I want to go back to my Keith's because every sip of this literally tastes like I'm eating a candle. But it's fine. No, normally this beer is fine. It's just when it's like the one that you drink after another one, right? Like you're used to drinking your favorite one, and then you're like, oh, let me try this different thing. Yeah, it's like candle wax in my mouth each time. So if you're wondering why I keep making that silly face every time I have a sip, that's why.
I think the listeners at home were wondering why you were making that face.
I was just going to say it.
You can hear it. No, don't tell me you can't hear it. Like it.
So Hannah, you want to tell us about your lifting history, dating back from when you first kind of got into the gym, or any sports or athletics you did?
Yes, so quite the up and down history for me with lifting. Always been an athlete. I started gymnastics when I was 3, did that for a while, and then middle school and high school, I just did volleyball and track. I didn't start really lifting until my sophomore year of high school. I figured out you kind of have to have a bit of upper body strength to be good at pole vaulting. Mm-hmm. And so my coach said, let's hit the weights. And then I hilariously gained 12 pounds right before the season started of, good bulk. And all of a sudden now I didn't have a pole that I was legally allowed to use because they're weight rated. Wow. So I had to get a brand new one. I bought a brand new one. And that helped. That was wonderful. It was great. I didn't even ask. It's not important, right? And then I had a lot of injuries, klutz and unlucky. So I had 2 surgeries my senior year of high school that really put a kibosh on the athletics for a bit there. And then I didn't start lifting again until after I started dating Grayson. And then I started getting jacked at Mathnomics. Then COVID hit a few years later, and we were in school, and I took a break because the gym shut down, and I don't like lifting at home. Sorry. We also didn't have any equipment, so I would have really been trying to make do. And I just didn't like it. It wasn't what I was used to doing. And so I stopped for a little while. And then it's been really tough getting back into it here in Sioux Falls. There's too many people here. Gyms are too busy. I know Tommy's commented on the etiquette of some of the people that are in some of these gyms here in Sioux Falls. And it is a lot to reckon with.
Sounds like you're going over to Tommy's house.
Yeah,
sure.
right.
Without going into like mass details, like don't give us your address or anything, but like, or the house that you bought or rented, whatever this new situation is at the new place, where's that in locations to other gyms? Because I know Grayson's like gym hopped a couple times, I think, trying to find something better for him. But I know Liberty Barbell was pretty awesome when we went there. I'm just curious if that's even close to where you guys are going to be, or if it's.
So Liberty is in T, which we're going to still be on the southeast side of Sioux Falls. So it's not really that far of a drive to get over there if we wanted to lift there. But the only gym that we've had a membership here was the Great Life. I think it was the same one that Tommy was going to. And we're like here right now, and where we're moving is like here. So the gym that's right there is still right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just moved to the opposite side of the middle of it. Okay.
Yeah, and that was the one that Tommy was going to, but Grayson drives to the one that's in Harrisburg, south of us, like 15 minutes.
They have the better. You said they had better equipment or something, right?
Yeah, and I mean the layout's better, and the one that is right next to us has a gym, like basketball court gym, attached to it, and so there's a lot of high schoolers, a lot of broccoli heads there that take up a lot of space. So it's not my favorite.
Well, hopefully, I don't know. I just, hopefully, you guys can figure it out and, get you back in there, get you consistent again at some point, whatever it takes, I guess. But yeah, go, just, go get the keypad to Tommy's house. His garage, he's not using it. All you need is a squat rack and a barbell and some weights. I think he's got all that by now. So you should be, throw him, $1 a day pass and you'd be good to go.
I think we're waiting. I think we're waiting on plates.
Yeah,
I think I saw that. I think I saw this. His stories. He's got some plates. They must have just showed up, so he should be good.
All right.
Perfect. And I already declared this to Grayson, so I'll declare it here and hold myself accountable. I will participate at the Lift Hard, Lift Easy next year.
Nice, 2020.
So now I have no choice.
Well,
Yep.
You will try because registration. Jesus, I think that what it sold out in like 6 hours, or maybe it was a day or two, but regardless, it was sold out like before public had access to it.
I think what was there only 12 spots open the next day?
Yeah, it was something crazy. I know Joey and I were anxious about if we'd even fucking get signed up, and Tanner hooked us up with the link a little bit before, possibly, but I wasn't sure. But I think we did mention that.
Yeah, awesome. We did not mention that. That has not gone out at all at any point. Just drove that bus right over Tanner on that one.
I bet if someone could fact check that and let us know. I'm pretty sure that was public knowledge.
Allegedly that happened.
Yep.
I'm
friends with too many like crew in person too, so it's like, fuck, who did I talk to in person about this?
There might be a rap battle event at the Lift Hard, Live Easy. I don't know if Tanner keeps dropping bars on the podcast. I might have to.
You should at least source his bars correctly.
Yeah.
I think that was part of it. No, that'll be awesome. Get you back. Now, have you ever competed though? Have you ever done a meet? Okay, I didn't.
No, I just did it for fun. We were just having fun.
Well,
so I'm sure I'll be totally chill and super cool when it comes next year.
Yeah, that sounds like me on a meet day.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're either gonna be on my level or on Keith's level, and neither are popular.
Yeah, I don't know what being in between would be like.
Well, the in between is everyone else.
I guess.
And there's like me and Jen Daminger and like maybe Bryce and Eddie, who are just like there to have dumb fun. And then there's Keith, who is a cyborg, and if you even talk to him before his set, before his attempts, he will kill you.
I like to think that I'm a person that has dumb fun. I'm not. No. I'm not. I like to think that I can be whimsical. I'm not. I'm not. I'll be a Keith.
I don't think anybody's ever called me whimsical, so I kind of appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Like not in a long time, or at least in a good way. So like even when that 10-pound thing fell on your head, like that wasn't fun?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it wasn't fun, and even that didn't keep me from the gym. So what's my excuse now, right?
I'm the king of
For a little
segues.
for a little
I was literally just gonna
context,
say it too, so good job.
There's a cat. There's a cat.
Well
There's a
done.
cat.
that's
Oh,
Gerald.
Hello, Gerald.
For context, we were in Watertown at the gym, and it was the wobbliest rogue rack I've ever seen in my life. And there were only, well, like tens, I guess it's probably too heavy to be up like head level. And I was moving only 25s. Okay, so I'm not throwing weight around on this thing. I just slid a 25 off, and apparently that was enough to just jangle the whole thing. And an iron 10-pound fell and hit me right in the eyebrow. Right here. I had such a goose egg. And we told the gym owner about it, and he said,
oh yeah, fuck that.
"Oh, well."
It was an earthquake crack.
Yeah.
Everything's loose and unsecured.
Well, that kind of makes that definitely correlates with why the Thomases have a home gym and don't try to do commercial gyms in Watertown. Then it seems like
It's so,
I did like that gym, but that was silly.
well, yeah,
it's
just
so wild. You guys say Watertown.
What do you?
Well, like, okay, so we'd probably say Waterton.
That's
Like, you guys pronounce the
You're
whole
missing
thing.
a letter there, though.
That's like TUN or TON.
Well, like we also don't say Newfoundland, right? Like there's an entire province. We don't call it Newfoundland. You call it Newfoundland, right? Like, no, just absolutely. You guys pronounce every letter in
I don't know.
everything ever.
There's a Watertown like 2 hours from me in New York too. So like it always throws me off when someone says Watertown and I'm like, are you talking about the one that like I live by or the one where like a fucking like six of my buddies live in South Dakota? So that always throws me off. But yeah, Waterton, I think if someone
I don't know
said
if I
that,
can get behind that one.
I don't.
You can keep Newfoundland, but Waterton, I don't know.
Actually, if you come up here and call it Newfoundland, everybody goes, "Yeah, you're not from here." Like, where are
I
you
think there's
from?
other things that would glaringly be obvious that I'm not.
Oh, this beer's terrible. um, so what was more rewarding? Graduating from physical therapist assistant school or 775 hours of Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, I'm going to say Baldur's Gate 3 because that number is 935 now.
Nice.
Oh, I'm so glad you
was-
brought it up. For the next 3 hours, that's what we're talking about. Thank you.
So
hopefully you guys enjoy the game.
You've reached in hours my total at my last meet. Congratulations.
That's a great way to look at it. I love that.
You beat
That's
me by
my
like
contribution.
4 hours. Yeah, you did it. You did it.
No, I was going to find a way to bring it up because Siri talked about it on her episode too. And I was like, perfect. I'm not going to be the first one. It won't be my fault if that derails the episode.
I don't know shit about it. So we got that going.
Well, it's great.
Just for
what would
reference,
you like to know?
You were at 775 back in February, so that's I think you put a hurting on those numbers since then. Good job.
It's like the only thing that I've ever been this engrossed in, and I am just recently a gamer within the last 3 years, probably since we moved here. I pretty much only played like Paper Mario. Before that I think it was Grayson buying the PS5 that really just was like, well, it's here. I might as well see what's on here, right? So Baldur's Gate is basically D&D in a video game format, and I've never played D&D either. Had no idea what was going on. I remember when I first played the very first time, I played for like 16 hours, and I was like, this blows. I deleted it, started over completely, and then I just never stopped playing. For whatever reason, starting over that second time, I was like, yeah, this is some good shit here. And I still don't know that I could tell you much about actual D&D, but I can tell you every single thing about everything that's ever happened in that game.
What do you play as?
My favorite, I like playing a rogue or a cleric.
What's your least favorite?
Wizard or sorcerer.
Yeah, I think barbarian would be boring.
It's yeah. Barbarian and fighter, you just hit stuff.
Yeah.
You just run up and hit it, and then you run to somebody else, and then you hit them.
Yeah.
Hard,
Leroy
but,
Jenkins. That's what we're doing.
I thought it was the rogue that hit you hard, but I guess not.
No, that was the rogue rack.
Yeah. Good one. Good one.
We can do a FMK because it's relevant if you want. Usually we save that for later, but if you want, but
yeah, let's do it.
You were
Go.
about to say something.
Bring it up.
Do you want to pronounce those names, Joey? Because I'm not butcher those.
Skoden. All the way down to the bottom. Oh, sure. FMK. I don't know if this is Gale, Astarion, or Karlach.
Okay, those are all Baldur's Gate people.
Explain all of them.
My druthers, yes. The fandom of Baldur's Gate and Ciri will hate me. I'm going to kill Karlach because I've killed her enough in the game. I don't care. I don't need her. Love her. Great character. Bye. Irrelevant. I'm going to, for sure, fuck Astarion. I could tally the number of times I have done it in the game, if you'd like me to report back.
It is 69 times?
It's probably more than that. Wow. And you'd be surprised at the level of attention and detail that went into the genitals and sexual scenes in this game. It's great. And then marry Gale, because again, married him how many times in game? He's great. He's the best. It's wonder. That's it. Gale all the way.
Wild. Okay, so where am I? The amount of times Baldur's Gate shows up in these fucking notes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is that all Grayson's? Is that all Grayson's fault?
I got a good bit I got a decent amount of stuff from several people. Mainly Grayson and your buddy.
So speaking of Grayson,
I
Yeah,
asked
we haven't talked about him yet.
Oh, we're not going to talk a lot about him. This is your episode. I did want to say, I asked him if he was a weeb or if you would call him one. So follow up, obviously, to having you on. Are you a weeb?
You definitely could consider me one, with the amount of regular content surrounding anime and manga, as well as fan fiction of the same anime and manga that I have saved to my device. I think I would fall in that category for sure.
I think your headphones are screaming it to me right now, actually.
You think so? I don't have the cat ears on.
Okay, so then I've also been instructed to ask you, why is One Piece your favorite?
That's funny you should ask that, because it's not. And if One Piece has 0 haters, I'm dead. And I don't even have a good reason for it. I just don't like how it looks, and I don't like that it's so long. It is 1,300 episodes and counting. No, thank you. That's too much. Too much for anybody to do. I tried watching the live action,
and I couldn't keep going. Like, it was so bad.
Live action anime doesn't even make sense. People are watching anime because they like that it's animated. Making it live action is silly.
I don't know if I'd agree on that, because I think that there's a lot of great storytelling and a lot of great concepts in it. And I personally don't like animation. So Can
you name one live action adaptation that's good?
The new Airbender.
Yeah, you think that's good?
I've enjoyed it. Ratings. I've watched the cartoon. I've enjoyed watching the live action.
Was it better than the last live action? Because that one was terrible.
It has to be. It genuinely has. Like, you would have to hate yourself and hate money if you read a script and went, well, this is worse than M. Night Shyamalan's. Let's make it. Like, you'd staple your nuts to the table because that was so bad. But this one does follow the storylines a lot. But personally, I don't like animation. I don't like the big fake tears and the faces they make and stuff. Like, it doesn't sit well with me. So I would say,
you don't have one of those body pillows.
No,
that's got the girls with like the knock knees and the giant The giant
No, the shoulders.
melons.
No, I don't. And I just, yeah. I know.
Well,
So I wanted to make the
speaking of
joke about One
boob,
Piece. Speaking of boobs, go ahead.
speaking of boobs, was that one of Hannah's nicknames at one point in her life?
Oh, that was my bowling name.
Yeah.
You got that from Eric for sure. So him and I and a group of our friends would go bowling every Wednesday for like 2 years straight because it was only $1 for the game and $1 for the shoes, and they had cheap pitchers of beer. And so we would go every single week and be there for 3 or 4 hours making a scene, right, for all the old people that are using the little ramps to because they can't throw the ball themselves, and of course you can't just put your name on the little screen that shows you where it's keeping your score. You have to think of something else. And Hannah doesn't really have a nickname, especially one short enough to fit in there. And so, of course, being younger than now, in my old age, wore a lot of, let's just say, booby shirts. They were out. The girls were out. And so I asked Eric for an idea for my name one time when we went bowling, and he just, boobs. Okay. Typed it in. And then it was like that, and it was on the screen every week for 2 years.
Nice. I'm glad you made a nice segue into that. You still bowling? Do you guys you get out with Grayson? Is it like you do like a date night bowling or anything like that?
Grayson is bad at bowling, so he doesn't like bowling. And we've probably done it twice since we lived in Aberdeen, which was like 5 years ago. So
you said those massive triceps don't help him bowl.
They don't. He just, I don't know.
I also hate bowling. I'm not gonna lie, and it's not
because you're bad.
No, I just hate it. There was like when I first joined this job, probably within about like a year between charity events and this job, I was forced to go bowling like 4 times in 1 year. And then I was just like, this is the worst. I'm never doing this again. And I've never done it again. Like, I absolutely find it boring. Like, you're sticking your finger in these disgusting holes, and I'm not even getting half the fun out of how that sounds. And like, it's just, yeah. Anyway, I'm with Grace.
There's no getting you to the Village Bowl in Aberdeen when you come for the lift hard, lift easy.
Unlikely.
I don't think I've bowled in 20 years, at least maybe once in the last 20 years. I don't know. It wasn't ever a big thing.
Missing out.
Well, one thing that I'd be excited to miss out on is this tug of war that Joey's got us roped into with Tanner and Tommy. It
wasn't me.
But I hear that you've got a little. I know. I hear that you've got a little competitive advantage back in the day, that you helped out Grayson mid-event in his team that was losing one of the events on some strategy to some strongman tug of war.
This is top secret knowledge that's never been revealed before. So this was the 3rd Strongman Showdown, I believe. It was the only time that they did the teams, and everybody just picked like one event that they were going to go head to head in someone against, and then they did the team tug of war. And after a brutal first round, it went on way too long, and I thought they were just gonna have to call it a tie. Me and one of Grayson's uncles were sitting there like, there's got to be a better way to do this, right? And so we Googled how to win a tug of war, and a guy on Reddit, of course, had like the physics broken down of how your lineup should be. And coincidentally, for the first round, both teams lined up shortest to tallest. And according to this, you were supposed to go tallest to shortest, because then when they switched, we ran up and told them. And after they switched, and 7 foot tall whoever in front was pulling against Megan Stone, who's 4 foot nothing. She had to like pull down.
Yep.
Way worse advantage. Literally 2 giant tugs from their team, and they just absolutely yoinked them across the line. Like, wasn't even funny. And then I was like, oh, they're probably It was kind of funny. I was like, oh my God, they're probably going to catch on and switch for the third round. And then it's going to be this stalemate again. And they did not. And we won.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm
So if
really
you
glad
ever are in a tug of war, don't tell the other team that you have a surefire strategy.
We'll call it Hannah's strategy.
I don't think that strategy is going to help Joey and I though, because we don't have a tall person to put out front.
It's not a thing, right? Like
I'm not.
It's not a thing. Like maybe on Sunday.
I'm not going to do a tug of war, but it's funny. We do funny bits and we beat jokes to death. So I'm going to talk about tug of war the next 3 months.
Nah, damn it.
Periodically.
Give me a speedboat.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about? I don't understand this speedboat thing.
I still don't.
Let's do some cat talk. What do you got? You've currently, you guys have 3 cats. Would you consider them all yours, or are they collectively you guys got them all together, or is one like a childhood cat that kind of came along? Or
I was trying to see if I could show you any. Come here. So I have one cat that I got before Grayson and I were together. That was Big Gerald, you saw back there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'll be 8 this year. And then we adopted Patrick 4 years ago. He is another, for those of you at home, Gary's a big fluffy orange cat. Patrick here is a big, like, tan cat. He's considered orange at the vet because I guess there's no such thing as a tan cat. And then last year, we had to take in another one from Grayson's younger sister. She had gotten the cat, and then they had a baby, and the cat liked to play with the baby.
Nope.
And not realizing that it's a squishy baby. And so it wasn't working out really well, and she didn't want to just give it away to anybody. And so we're like, hey, we like cats. How about a third one?
Well, I guess like if you're spray tanning, you're kind of orange anyway. So like we could meet that halfway for that cat.
That's true. That's true. But we broke the cycle. We thought it'd be funny to have every pet the same color. And we were talking about getting like a corgi to match the color scheme of the other 2 cats. But the third one that we took from his sister is black and white. So we already kind of ruined that.
Nothing ruined about having cats. I don't think that's possible. So that's awesome.
Oh, I know. I agree. And
glad you guys
this new place that we're going to finally has stairs, so I can watch them like push each other down the stairs and run up and down the stairs. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. Watching my girls figure out what stairs were, and it's kind of terrifying because I have like an open staircase into my basement. It's the only stairs in the house. So like if they fall from like 8 feet fucking high because there's no backing, like, so we didn't let them into the basement for like the first 3 months until they were like, maybe you could survive if you fell that far kind of size. But yeah, they're just, the one was too stupid. Like I think she kept trying to go down backwards and then like would just fall. And what the fuck are you doing? Like, no, but they both can staircase now just fine.
That's good.
It did take a little bit of trying though, but no,
we'll
awesome.
send you some trial and error if they seem like they're having some trouble with it.
No, that's got to be exciting, going from like a smaller apartment to like actual like a bigger space, especially with pets, and maybe actually put some distance between the litter box and like sleeping quarters and like the living quarters would be ideal.
Correct.
So,
yes.
Congratulations. That's awesome. I'm very happy for you guys to get some more space, and I'm happy for the cats. I mean, you and Grayson, whatever, but the cats having more space is always
more room for the cats. Yeah. No, we can sleep in the closet. It doesn't matter.
Well, I don't think we should let anybody down. We should probably get into some poop talk.
Yeah, there's an ungodly amount of poop suggestions and whatnot, but yeah.
Well, the one I want to know, I think the most about is who clogs a toilet better, Grayson on a chicken bake or you on one of your first dates with Grayson?
Well, considering Grayson didn't even actually chicken bake clog the toilet, it's got to go to me. And I love that he brought that up because really, what better picture to paint of me than that? I'm just so comfortable in myself and in my surroundings that I can't say knew him because I've known him since middle school, but we dated for 2 weeks. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to big shit in your house right now. And I didn't even unclog it. I made him do it.
Yep. And here we are, 7 years later, still together.
Yeah.
Right?
I haven't asked him to do it again. I have learned how to do it myself, but I made him do it, and he still wanted to date me.
Oh, that's
I think, like, I don't think that would be a deal breaker, though. Like, I don't think if somebody's like, hey, I clogged your toilet, I'm gonna be like, oh, well, then, like, leave and let's never talk again. Like, I don't think that seems fucking wild to me.
I guess, yeah,
Like,
I think it'd all be how you handle it. Like, if you like
everything's going great, but you pooed a bit big.
when there's a difference between like the worst is when it actually overflows and then you actually have to like mop up shit water. Like that happens. Like some toilets like don't actually stop. Like
Yeah,
they
no,
all
I didn't
should,
do
but they
that.
don't all do that.
You mop it up?
You kind of, yeah.
Get a straw like the rest of us, you weirdo.
Yeah, the straw. Yeah. Was I think there was a couple more.
It's not an unpaid and underrated unless somebody brings up poop. Like that's what.
Yeah. Everybody poops.
It's been
for you Canadian. That's a book here.
I have the
book.
Good.
I
have the book. It did not help. Daniel the Tiger helped.
You couldn't poop until you read Daniel the Tiger, or
oh, not me. My 4-year-old, 3-year-old, or 2-year-old, however old he was, did not really enjoy Everybody Poops. We had to get this stupid sing song. When you have to poop, you stop and go right away.
I'm not.
Is that good advice though? To just stop, drop, and shit.
Well, you don't. Well, yeah, you just don't hold
if you're on a trail and you're an unpaid and underrated guest in the past.
You do it in front of a bunch of scouts or off the side of a mountain.
Yeah, in front of a bus full or a boatload of Germans or something on a tourist trip. Or I think it was.
I think the only thing we haven't done is poop in front of like nuns or something. Like I think that's the only one that somebody hasn't brought up.
I bet Bizarro's trying to shit in front of nuns before. He's probably done that. That's for sure.
He clogged the toilet in a church for sure.
Absolutely. Maybe moving off a slightly uncomfortable topic. Tattoos. I've got a couple of tattoo questions. I guess the first one is what's your favorite tattoo, and is there a story behind it?
Well, I kind of only have two. Okay. I mean, my whole arm's covered, but it's all connected. So is that one or is that multiple?
I guess it depends on, did you sit for that in one sitting, or was that like
no?
Is it a storyline or is it a bunch of random things you connected?
It's I had an interesting thought in my head that I'm not able to physically manifest in any way whatsoever. So I told somebody else that, and then they drew up a picture, and I said, that looks good enough. That still looks cool.
Put that on my body forever.
Let me pay you a lot of money and sit here, and we're just going to go with it. It's great. It's lovely.
That's what that one is, and that's what that one was. That's what this one is.
So my whole left arm is all just some stuff that looks cool. But I guess, sorry if you can hear that. That's Patrick. He's scratching. I have, let's see if I can, I have one on my ankle here. It is a little cat looking through a wine glass. And I got it with one of my best friends for her birthday, matching. It was her first tattoo. I don't know if you can tell by the looks of it. It took about 45 seconds for that to be drawn on, right? And I think she broke my hand. Every 2 seconds, she asked, is it over yet? Is he done? What is he doing to me? And it was a great, wonderful experience. So at least every time I see that, I can think of how wonderful that experience was.
When you have multiple tattoos, okay, and you have them all over parts of your body, and when somebody asks, did that hurt? The answer is no, right? Because it didn't hurt as much as the one that hurt the most, right? That's just a thing I've acknowledged. Did your knuckles hurt? No, they did not. Because the one on my chest was the most pain I've ever been through. Did the one on your leg hurt? No, because the one on my chest is the most pain I've ever been through. But if you only have one, it sucks. Like, it's wet fire. Tattoos don't feel good. So if you don't have tattoos and you ask somebody, did it hurt? Shut the hell up.
Of
The
course
answer
it
is
did.
yes. Of course it hurt. It's just a level of how comfortable I am with that pain at the time.
Mm-hmm. And then the week and a half after, where it's itchy.
These where I had to wear little plastic things around my hands to shower.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, the worst.
I did the inside and the outside of my elbow like the same time. So I had that plastic crap on both sides. I couldn't bend or straighten my elbow for like 3 days.
No, that sounds awful. And
It
then
was terrible.
I posted a selfie today, just as a joke, like a urinal joke, and I'm flexing my right arm in it. And I looked at the selfie and I went, fuck, I need a tattoo on that arm.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like,
I have an appointment scheduled for about 1 month from today.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm tattooed out. I don't want any more. And then I got my knuckles done. So that's it, man. Like, I don't want to spend any more money. I don't need any more. And then I was looking at that picture going, God, that's prime real estate for something new, isn't it?
Well, it's gonna be hard.
This train is not stopping.
Too, right?
What's that, Keith?
Financial aspect. It's gonna be harder financially with just the kids. It's just like, am I going to spend $800 on myself, or am I going to do my kids get a new play set or whatever the fuck? I don't know.
Yeah,
and it never I have no
whatever
concept of what
kids
tattoos
need.
are other than expensive. I'm sure you can get cheap tattoos, but I think at that point, I don't know. Are you getting cheap tattoos at this point, or
no? And here's the thing: tattoos used to be kind of cheap. Yeah. The one on my leg, the big Black Label Society one that takes up like most of my calf, is $250. That would be $1,000 tattoo today. But I'm going back 20 years ago when I got it. Right, it was $250. And then I think
other than that little one on my ankle, every time I've gone in for a session on my arm, it was $500.
Mm-hmm. Did you pay for the needle?
And it was like 4.5 to 5 hours every time I sat there.
Yeah, that's wild. I wish if they were cheaper, I'd have a lot more, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, Big Hannah, are there any circumstances you would get a neck tattoo? Someone wanted to know.
I love them. I love how they look. I don't think in my head, knowing what a tattoo feels like could go through with it, picturing it on my neck. I think I would freak out and just be convinced that they're going to stab through my neck. And no, I don't think I'd actually do it, but I can sure fantasize about it. I appreciate the other people that do.
I actually don't like neck tattoos at all. That's there's a thing we say that I learned from another tattooed friend, is that we have the warped tour tattoos. And warped tour tattoos are when you have your wrists and hands done and your neck done, so that when you're wearing a hoodie, it looks like your whole body's done. Yeah. And sometimes I see neck tattoos and that's just like, are you just warped tour tattooed? And so, interestingly, I think they're cool, if they go up the shoulder or up the back of the ear, but the front of the neck, I'm like, ew, but
depends on the subject matter, if it's right on the throat. But also, when it's cold out and you're wearing long sleeves and long pants, how do people know if you're cool if you don't have your neck and your hands tattooed?
Knuckle tattoos are where
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
When these ones fade, I'll get the second set done, the funnier version of them.
So, Keith, when are you getting a tattoo?
I'd probably never. I don't know.
Get a Massonomics tattoo. Maybe they'll finally follow you back.
Fuck that. I get a no wine cellar tattoo before I get anything else at some point. That's more that's my baby.
It's about me. That one doesn't show anything but I love.
I don't know. I would probably not get I don't know. I would, if I was going to tattoo, it would definitely be something correlated with my wife. Maybe I used to think about maybe an immemorial thing to my cat that we lost last year, possibly, or something about my gym. But more than likely, it'd be something about my wife, I guess. I don't know.
You should get your left eyebrow replaced with your cat's names. You just shave your left eyebrow and tattoo cats' names in place of your eyebrow. You look so badass.
Nice cursive script you can barely read.
Yeah.
I definitely can't read it I can't read anything when I write in cursive. When I sign my name, it's like, what the fuck is that? I don't know what that is.
I'll wouldn't
I'll
write it
half the time. Just I know it was more of just a comment on cursive. I've been waiting 11 months to talk about cursive writing. God damn it! And that was the first time I had the opportunity. Obviously, why else would I bring it up? What else we got? We got some good stuff.
So, does the roller coaster meme still exist, and where can we find it?
I can't believe it hasn't showed up in the Discord yet. I'm very proud of Grayson for showing restraint and not unleashing that into the world.
Until now.
Yep. I'll post it in the Discord right after this. It was my 21st birthday, and back when I was drinking, and we went to the zoo of all places, right? That's where everybody ends up. And
So winning.
I had a few. I should have, if I knew that you were going to ask about that, I would have pulled it up. I could have showed you. I had a few, and it was late. It was also hot because my birthday's in August, and we went outside for a dart. And I just was like, what I need right now is to sit down on the ground, leaning up against the fence and the patio back there, and just close my eyes just for a little bit. Totally not sleeping, totally not unconscious, totally fine. And of course, a picture of me happened to be taken when I was relaxing and nothing else. And let's just say it looks perfect, photoshopped into a stock image of people on a roller coaster. I don't know if you've seen videos where people go on like that slingshot ride.
Mm-hmm.
And then pass out where it like shoots you up into the air. So yeah, it looks totally natural, and it looks like I died on a roller coaster. It's great.
So Grayson, take note of two things in that story. We need to see that meme, and her birthday's in August.
Narrows it down at least, yeah.
All right, Keith, what do you got? I'm done embarrassing you for a few seconds.
This still might be embarrassing. Is there something you want to tell the class about what happened to your big toe?
The class would love to hear this. The class, I'm sure, would also love to see the pictures that I still have from this night. So, this was before Grayson and I started dating, but we were in the cities, Minneapolis, sorry. And we were drinking, of course. And the friend's house that I was staying at, for whatever reason, the exterior doors had like a foot of solid concrete that you step up to get in the doorway instead of it just being flush with the ground. And I'm not going to remember that because that's stupid. And who makes a door that way? So when another friend wanted to come over and they called me to come and open it for them, I'm standing outside, little doorman like I am. They walk in and I, not able to think right, just kick it head on the cement. And so my toenail went like that, like a 45-degree angle, and also at a tilt. Oh, I'll send that picture too. You're welcome. And I couldn't really do anything about it. I mean, it was still totally attached at the time. So I just waited for it to stop bleeding, and we just partied on and went to bed. And then the following day, we had a fun day of Valley Fair, roller coasters and such. And then we went out again downtown and drank some more the next night. When we woke up that next morning, Hannah didn't have a toenail anymore. And I was in bed with like a towel wrapped around my foot. But toenail missing in action, gone. It was in the sink in the bathroom in whoever's hotel room we were in, I think. So I got a pretty nasty looking photo of my bloody stump that was remaining after my toenail fell off. And it's never been the same since. It looks pretty jacked up right now.
We don't really need toenails, do we?
That's some super fucking sensitive skin underneath. I think you do.
Well, maybe it's only sensitive because it's being protected by the toenail. It should just toughen up. We'll just rip them all off, and it'll build a callus, right?
Fortify you, cowards.
I would love to hear more poop stories other than this is so disgusting to me. I'm so like skeeved out because I can feel the pain of like I've had like I used to like I've broken like fingernails and then like you have that like 3 months where it starts to die from the inside and then you just have like this huge like this the tip is there but the bottom's growing out and it's just so painful and you have to cut it off like that's like I've just felt that pain the entire story and I was like oh I regret asking that probably more than any other question I've ever asked on any podcast. Oh.
Really?
Yeah, that wouldn't get me kind of like.
Well, there's no catheter in it, so you can't be you can't be too upset.
Nothing wrong with that. That wasn't as bad as that story. It's just because I can feel the internal pain.
Like, and it's funny because you're just imagining it. I haven't even sent you the picture yet.
Oh no! If you fucking
do it, post it. Post it.
The most icky thing ever. And speaking of icky, we did have someone suggested there were some icky things, some icky foods you don't like, chicken and eggs to be specific. So you don't eat chicken and eggs, or you just don't like them.
So I don't think they're icky. It's just sometimes my brain decides that I don't like it anymore after I've started eating it.
Gotcha.
So it seems like it's only chicken and eggs. I don't think there's anything else off the top of my head that's a continuous problem. Sounds good. I cook it, I start eating it, and then I'm like, wow, this is actually just fucking gross. And then all of a sudden the texture is wrong. All of a sudden I physically cannot eat it, and I think I'm going to actually throw up for no reason. And chicken, I think it's because I'm always convinced that it's not going to be cooked enough.
That's fair.
It happened one time. I'm sure that it actually wasn't cooked enough, and now I will not forget about it. And so I'm so scared, I guess, about eating chicken. And eggs just get too eggy.
Did you have eggs at the Waffle House and at the Crew Falls meetup? Because that was some of the best fucking.
I sure did.
I have ever had.
I sure did have eggs.
Did you get one of those big like 5 egg omelets? It was only like $9. It was the best fucking deal ever.
That place is amazing.
Those were good eggs. So it's just it's more like it's eggs you make at the house that it's just like fuck. I don't like these kind of.
I guess, or maybe I just eat them too much, and then it's like the 12th day in a row, and I'm like can't have another egg for the rest of my life.
I think that would ruin Tanner's life if he felt that way every 12 days and couldn't eat eggs anymore.
That's fun because I have a mental block and, breaking news. I can't eat the last chicken wing ever. So if I order,
because you're sad the experience is over, or what?
I genuinely don't understand it. Everybody, like, if I go to a regular place, they just know that when that last chicken wing is sitting on the plate, I'm done, and I can't eat. And I think it's genuinely just because my brain goes, "You're done. That's enough. Stop eating these chicken wings. They're not worth the effort." And I've tried. Like, I'll gag. Yeah, I'll eat 10 chicken wings, and that 11th one, I'll be like, "What? No, I can't eat that one." Right? Again, I'm probably autistic, but also like probably just like what? I think it's the same thing that my brain is just 100%. Like, yep, you're done. You're done chewing on this shit.
Yep, it happened. Oh my God, it happened one time. I was eating spaghetti. We make a lot of spaghetti because it's cheap and it's easy
and delicious.
Yeah, but I had a couple bites. And then it was like the 3rd or 4th bite. And I was like, oh my God, this fucking spaghetti is amazing. And it was like the 3rd or 4th bite. And I'm like, I actually think this is worms. And this is the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. And I'm going to throw up right now.
Yep. That's fun. I've never considered that because I've always just known it's a thing and I've known it's weird. But it's fun that you bring it up. Yeah. Like I was like, no, I'm going to eat that last chicken wing. And then I can't fucking touch it.
Cat number 3.
Oh, hey, little guy. Oh, he's just a little baby, he looks like, too, in comparison. But maybe it's just...
Yeah, the other 2 are huge. He's a little tiny baby.
Gotcha.
I'm glad you brought up breakfast, though, Keith. I have a question for you guys.
What you got?
I know, Joey, you eat a pretty consistent breakfast, right? It's like usually the same thing every day.
Bacon
what do you guys consider breakfast? Do you have harsh rules on what is breakfast food and what is not, or what you can eat during breakfast?
Oh, that's fun.
I've eaten like I ate chicken for breakfast multiple times when I was like super like into my ED and macro everything and shit. I was fucking for sure like when my normal breakfast disappeared because I was getting like a protein bagel every day. But then like that company literally just like up and vanished. So like as a stopgap before I found an alternative, I just started eating fucking chicken for breakfast also, and that was
Oh
horrible,
my
but
God.
it was doable. Breakfast now is just like a protein cereal, but would I eat? I mean, I'm not picky. Like especially Saturday, Sundays. Like I'm waking up and I'm eating whatever the fuck there was leftovers from the night before. Like because Saturday, like the weekends, I don't have like a set breakfast time typically because I might eat later and eat less meals, but it's typically going to be like cold leftovers. I'm not opposed to
Good.
that.
Joey?
Yeah, probably. Right. I actually, interestingly, I eat bacon and eggs pretty standard because it's just what my brain can handle and what my stomach can handle. If I don't bother eating though, then like technically my breakfast can be anything. If it's 11 a.m. and I've been awake since 8 a.m., I don't give a shit. It's a slice of pizza, it's a hot dog, it's whatever is going to make me not kill all of you because
Hell yeah.
my blood sugar starts to go down and my grumpy starts to go up. But like bacon and eggs are standard. Protein waffles, protein pancakes. I used to make killer pancakes. Sometimes I'll just do a bagel and cream cheese. But like if somebody was like, it's 8 a.m., let's have spaghetti, I'd look at them like they're fucking psychopathic.
It's funny that you use that as an example because when we were in school and COVID happened and we got kicked to online learning, this was my day every day from 8 to 4. And I would get up and, as Keith so eloquently put, whatever the fuck is in the fridge is my breakfast. I'm not going to get up early and make breakfast before I have to do something like that. And so I remember one time getting absolutely roasted by my entire class and the professor because it was 7:40 a.m. I had a big fuzzy robe on, the hood up, and I was shoveling spaghetti into my mouth and rinsing it down with an A&W root beer.
Nice.
And apparently that's not considered breakfast.
But see, I'd probably like bother you about it, but I don't think I'd like judge you for it. Like the A&W root beer, probably that's too much sugar in the morning for me.
It's no sugar-free household.
Okay. But like the carbs and was it meat sauce at least? Like
yes, of course.
Yeah, like I would understand it now, like as a lifter. If you were to talk to me 10 years ago, I'd be like, no, that's insane person stuff. But even then, like,
roast and potatoes for breakfast and cold pizza.
Cold pizza I'm okay with. I guess I'm not a stickler as much as I thought I was.
Are you microwaving that spaghetti or eating it cold?
Oh, God. I can barely handle eating spaghetti microwaved and it being hot. If I tried to eat that cold, I think I'd not be on this mortal coil anymore. I would leave. I'd be gone.
Honestly, I can accept like cold spaghetti more than warm spaghetti for breakfast, I guess. I don't know. Something about my brain, like cold leftovers for breakfast more though than like warming them up. I don't know. It's just like once you
eating cold lunches though in your car for work is
that's life. Such is life.
Like you're eating like chicken and broccoli and stuff just cold.
So I'm still eating. I pretty much eat chicken every day for lunch, but we've been as of late. As I did get tired of just eating fucking grilled chicken and vegetables, so we've been doing crock pot, like a barbecue pulled chicken in a crock pot, and I've been meal prepping with that, and I can fucking consume that so much. I mean, it's not as macro friendly, but it's fucking tastes amazing, and I end up eating like significantly more protein out of it because I'm eating a bigger helping of it because it's a lot easier to shovel like 8 or 9 ounces of that down than like fucking just 6 ounces of cold plain breast. So yeah, that's for sure. I don't know.
You heard it here first. He doesn't like cold plain breasts.
Nope.
What kind of breasts would tickle your fancy more?
Gummy dicks.
Oh, there was a good one the other day.
If the breasts were dicks.
I think it was. I think someone said
looker.
I think it was on Facebook when they shared the woman's big breast video on like the Facebook, and I think Chris Hornick asked, "How does one gauge that?" or something like the size, and I said mouthfeel to kind of answer your earlier question and to harken back on. So
That's good. That's
mouthfeel is how you
good.
have to weigh those out.
Part of me wants to say like red sauce in the morning is hard, but I also
Yeah,
put
because then it's super indigestion-y.
but I also put ghost pepper
Really good.
sauce on my fucking eggs
Yeah.
sometimes. So like here I am going like, oh, spaghetti sauce, mate. So
A tomato is
yeah,
too
oh no.
spicy for Joey.
Who's got time to cook eggs and bacon and then go to work? Like I don't know. Like
I
I have like
agree.
I have 20 minutes to like take a shower and get in
I
my
actually
car.
won't eat bacon on deadlift day either.
I know. Yeah, you said that a bunch. Like
Yeah.
to me, like I don't have a schedule, I guess, to where I can like just like I'd have to wake up at 4 a.m. to like cook, and then it's like, and I'm waking the whole like I leave before my wife gets up half the time, so it's like I can't be like making a bunch of noise cooking shit. So
I'm just lazy.
I'm lazy too sometimes for sure.
I work from
Anything I
home. I get up 4 minutes before I'm supposed to turn my computer on. I could wake up and make breakfast. I'm not going to do that.
Fuck that. Hold cereal and headset on.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're not technically, until 2025 when you grace us with your presence at the Lift Hard Live Easy 3/2025. You're currently not a powerlifting record holder, but I hear you are a
Correct.
middle school track and field record holder. And now, is there a shirt for
Yes.
that?
Is there a shirt? Actually, yes, there was. I don't fit into it anymore. I don't have it. Believe it or not, when I was 14, 13, I was smaller than I am now at 27. So no longer have the middle school record shirt. But it was kind of impressive because I think it's going to actually be a long time before anybody beats that because I shouldn't have been able to do that. I was high jumping, and I think the previous record was like for middle school, it was like 4'8" or something, which is fine for a middle schooler, right? But in terms of like being good at high jump for like high school level, that's not even like qualifying for state, right? So when I was a seventh grader, the first year that you can do track, I somehow at one of the meets about halfway through the year pulled out a 5'1" jump out of my ass, just absolutely kept soaring over the bar and got pulled up to varsity. And I don't think a single person has ever came close to that. And guess what? Shocker, I barely jumped higher than that the rest of the time that I was in high school. So my claim to fame is that one day when I was 13 and I was just chasing that high ever since.
Good stuff. Yeah, that is crazy. Like, I think my wife kind of had a similar thing. Like her numbers and cross country were like about the same from seventh grade to like when she was a senior in high school, just because like as her body like she became a larger human. So but this is me trying to remember her telling me that. I'm pretty sure like her athletic, like she was like varsity as like 12-year-old, but then like
Yep. Half of the
wasn't an
girls,
All-American as a senior. She just kind of
yes.
like stayed this, like she was really good, but she just like stayed really good the whole time.
Half of girls' sports is all like middle schoolers, and then it's just always like younger girls, and like when you get older and you kind of plateau, it seems like a lot of girls just don't stick out and like keep performing, and then you stupid boys just get better the bigger you guys get. So there's not usually like younger guys that get brought up onto like JV and varsity and stuff like that, when JV and varsity for girls is like all middle schoolers. It's kind of funny.
Makes sense for sure, though. I can definitely like see that like historically play out and repeat itself time and time again. A lot of Boulder Gate. I think we
A lot of
I don't
Boulder
know how much-
Gate. I'm actually kind of interested in going to a rave dressed as Shrek.
Another thing that would have been, I should have brought like a vision board or something, like all these pictures you guys could see. So apparently it's a national thing. This guy does it where he puts on Shrek raves all around the country. And he, luckily for me, came to Sioux Falls. I think it was last year. And so you show up, you didn't have to show up in costume, but I am going to show up in costume. And it was only crazy EDM remixes of the original Shrek soundtrack from the movies, or any
Awesome.
other like really
That's
popular EDM songs with these absolutely insane Shrek visuals. And it was an absolutely great time. I think there's a Bikini Bottom rave that also comes through around. I didn't make it to that one, but yes, I chose Shrek because that's, to me, is like the funniest one to horribly cosplay. The green paint, way too not the right color. I started sweating it off. I bought a shirt from Amazon that was like movie accurate. Like it looked like the print on it looked like his actual shirt, but it was so cheap. It was only the front half of the shirt. So like where the seam is like on the shoulder, then the back is just white. It just looks absolutely so shitty and so low effort. And it's so much funnier that way.
Yes.
But someone showed up in a full, it had to be expensive. It was crazy. A legit donkey suit. So he won that night.
Obviously.
But yeah, so next time, or you should follow, I'll find who it is on Facebook. You can, sorry, you're not on Facebook. I'll send you updates if he's in your area. You can go to the Shrek rave. I think everybody needs to experience that once in their life.
Now, was that donkey a two-person suit or someone someone walking on all fours, or was it like a dude just standing vertically the whole time? And
it was unfortunately, a bipedal donkey. It was no quadruped action happening there. No one was
a little anticlimactic.
No one was on the bottom.
Yeah. That one wasn't enough for me. I really needed that to be two people.
Did it shatter the illusion?
No, I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on anything anymore. Fuck, I'm barely even on TikTok.
But he does edge his wings and does not completion them.
At least he's not afraid to eat flats. Didn't you say that it was too sensual to eat them?
I do not like flats at all. I
too sensual to eat them.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, you gotta get in there and slurp it out.
Do you specifically say it? I know you seem pretty neutral on flats or drums from what I remember, but if you had to what are we going off the rails here? No, I'm curious if the last wing that you don't eat, is it consistently a flat or a drum, or is it completely no rhyme or reason on what you leave behind?
It's usually a drum.
So you like flats? Ugh, that's why we don't. That's why we're.
Well, no, it's just because you get less of those.
I always get shafted with fucking like 3/4 the one I don't like. I'm like, what the fuck? Give me goddamn more drums.
I'm with I'm team chicken nugget. Give me boneless. I don't want to have to work for my meal. I just want to throw it in there and
fuck up some I definitely fuck up some Chick-fil-A nuggies for sure.
So actually, I had chicken wings bone-in. I had bone-in chicken wings about a week ago, and it actually made me sick as shit. Like for the entire night, I just was out of it, and then the next day, I was out of it. I couldn't do anything, and I think I was talking to you guys in the Discord that like this is the sickest I have been in months. And I think it was those chicken wings. I actually haven't had chicken wings since, so we went out today to have them. And the last one that was, well, I went to a different place. So yeah, it did. And the last one left was so weirdly fried that the skin looked funny. So like, I just couldn't you can't bring yourself to eat that last one. But no, actually, I forgot about the sensual chicken wing thing. And that's why I was doing the shape thing. Cause it's like, yeah, that makes sense. He's not burying his nose in there to get that meat.
That's a shame, Keith.
That's
a shame. Shame on you.
I eat them. I just don't
get in there.
You got to get in there.
I have tried them. Speaking of trying new
You've
foods,
dabbled.
That's something. Yeah, is trying new foods something you enjoy doing? It looks like, or it was noteworthy. I don't know.
We're gonna laugh at you for a little bit longer, and then I'll answer.
You broke me. I'm not even sure he got the reference of what we just said.
Oh yeah, Keith.
I love explain it to me in Discord.
I love eating, Keith. I love trying new stuff. Now that we're in this big old city, the Sioux Falls, where we have the world is our oyster when it comes to food. Yeah, I'll try anything once.
Definitely don't recommend that burger I had right off the airport with Grayson and the boys. That was the most disgusting burger I think I've ever had. So don't go there.
What did
What
you?
the fuck?
I mean, I've never
I
eaten at the
I'd have
airport here, but
no, it wasn't at the airport. It was like it was the
Airport
Thursday
adjacent.
or it was the Friday. It was the Friday afternoon where it was like me, Colton, Grayson, the boys from West Virginia, and Tommy went to one of the bars downtown, and I don't know, it just was the weirdest burger. Like,
oh, did you go to JL's? Probably.
probably, but it was almost like white meat. Like like the patty has like a very white gray, and I'm like, is this a fucking like Sioux Falls? Is this like a South Dakota thing? Like this
I
burger should
think you
be
got the
like pink.
nasty patty from that
I
episode of SpongeBob.
I was fucking horrendous.
They took it out of its cage and put it on a plate and gave it to you.
I have never glazed an episode of SpongeBob in my life.
That's unfortunate.
I hear
You're one of
that's,
those kids.
Oh yeah, we did forget that, or I think you had. So you and Grayson both like SpongeBob from what I recall, right? It wasn't like,
Mhm.
do you guys so you just equally like just zone out watching SpongeBob, or it's just more? Because is it even a show that's still like is it actively new episodes?
Yeah, it unfortunately does still exist. The original creator died, and so whoever at Nickelodeon that took it over, they really kind of crap the bed on it, and it's so weird. I'm not to be like an old person hating on like the new kids for like this stuff, like the new stuff for kids. Like it was better back in my day, but like it objectively is.
I'm getting
It's
old.
weird and it's weird and bad. But the first like 3 seasons of it are peak cinema.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
seasons that I'm like,
Yep.
If you watch the Doodle Bob episode and you don't laugh hard enough to pee, I question
When
I
he
question
erases
your sense of
SpongeBob's
humor.
butt cheeks.
Yeah,
everyone always
Yeah.
questions. Everyone already questions my sense. I don't think people think I have a sense of humor.
I'm fairly certain you do, except that you rated basketball so low. That one makes me.
I bet if I had to rewatch that one, like, yeah, I think like a lot of those I rated like on just I had to like go through my entire movie catalog in like a month out of boredom when I was just like okay, because I didn't start that IMDb thing until like 2012, and I had been watching movies since like 1990, so like there was 22 years of just guessing when I finally filled them out.
Yeah, you are straight up wrong about basketball.
I still think if I had to put me on the spot right now, basketball's still probably like it's less than a 6, but
Wrong.
It's,
Hannah, what is like the weird, like not weirdest? Okay, so what's your favorite food that you move to the big city and you say, I'm not gonna like that, and you ended up liking it? What's up?
I haven't had anything that I thought I wasn't gonna like. I've tried everything because I was certain I was gonna like it.
Mhm.
So our favorite place that we frequent the most often is any one of the three Indian restaurants that are here. Grayson always only orders butter chicken. I've tried the entire menu at this point. That's one of my favorite places to go. And then there's a Korean fried chicken place that opened up right next to one of the Indian restaurants that we go to. And that's some of the tastiest shit I've ever had in my life.
Is it Jollibee's?
No, it's
Okay.
Called Opa Chicken. I don't know if it's a chain or if it's a local thing.
You're eating Appa?
Yeah. Yeah. Appa nuggets, yeah. That's from Avatar: The Last Airbender, Keith. So
yeah,
right over the head.
clue
So
you in there.
I did see the live action in like 2005, and
The bad one.
the
sucky
show
times.
is on my watch list, but it's not like I don't know. I read some reviews and like I'll have to run out of shit to watch and I might watch it kind of thing. I
clued into biryani, and if you can get Grayson to try biryani, he
tries everything that I order, but I don't think he wants to commit to a full new dish.
Oh, I love korma. I love butter chicken. I love Indian food, but then biryani hit me, and I was like, wait, this is one pot, and it's just rice and meat and veggies, and like it was so good. We make it all the time here.
So good.
Lamb or chicken biryani, and it's the easiest thing to make because you just like fry up some stuff and then cook it all in a pot, and everything tastes incredible. Yep.
You'll like this. So one of the first times that I got Grayson to go with me to eat it, I'd been door dashing it myself a couple times at this point. So I already knew what I was going to order. I'd already tried all the basic white people things, the chicken tikka masala, the butter chicken, whatever. And so I was ready to branch out. I already had all that. Well, Grayson was more reserved, and that's what he ordered. And he ordered it mild because he didn't want it spicy. And I ordered something, and I said, just make it hot. And the the waiter was like, yeah, like, let's go, right? Where they give you a crap ton of food, and so we obviously had leftovers, and I'm pretty sure we had appetizers anyway, so like we obviously were going to take out back home. And he comes back around, and he didn't ask me, he asked Grayson, who hadn't finished his food either, and he's like, too spicy.
Oh,
For
no.
mild butter chicken. Like he was
Yeah.
like taking a jab at him, like, oh my God, he couldn't even handle it, and like looks over at me like, haha, right?
All right. Wait, so you listen to metal?
Yes.
Ish. Metal-ish, what I hear.
Metal-ish. Well,
so it's like
go on.
Beartooth. Okay, Beartooth. Freaking amazing name. Not as heavy as I thought somebody with the name Beartooth was gonna be. And one of my coworkers he was in a band called Counterparts. Do you know who they are?
No.
No? Okay, so he was telling me about these guys, and that's how I ended up finding them. And also not as heavy as I thought they would be. But Fit for a King and Motionless in White, like all amazing bands. But then suddenly, Hosier?
So yes, I listen to heavier music than Grayson does. He's got a limit where he cuts off, where it's like too much that I like, that me and my buddy Eric listen to. So I listen to really heavy stuff. Those guys that you listed are mostly just the people that I just never skip. They're just like, if a song comes up in my shuffle, like I'm always going to stop and listen to whatever one of their songs come on. Like I just like them a lot. But yeah, my Spotify Wrapped last year had 3 like really heavy bands in the middle, and then like number 1 Hosier, and number 5 Justin Bieber.
The
My the Biebs. My shuffle, if I just shuffle all of my liked songs, is a wild ride. I got a little bit of everything in there for anyone.
So where does he draw the line at like heavy? And then you're like, no, I'm going to overstep that line. That's kind of what I'm wondering.
It's hard to tell, because when I recommend a song that I think he might like, that I like, it's hit or miss if he's going to like it or not. And sometimes when he's told me that he likes this song, I was surprised that he liked it. So I don't really have a gauge on where his like limit is, but it's definitely not like Slaughter to Prevail.
That's what I was thinking.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
Which I can handle some of it. I don't like when it starts sounding squealy, like some Suicide Silence, where it sounds like pigs squealing, like that kind of stuff. I don't like that at all. I don't like, yeah.
Yep.
I don't like that at all. But I love the drums in like deathcore.
Yeah.
Like the drums sound amazing, but I don't like the vocals at all.
That's funny, because I was actually saying to Morgan today, we were listening to Slaughter to Prevail. Saga was asleep, and I was like, all right, daddy's heavy music time. And then I was like, it's interesting that like 10 years ago, not 10 years, like 20 years ago, I wouldn't listen to Slipknot because he was screaming too much. And now I'm listening to deathcore, where it's like goblins and bears, microphone. But no, the other thing about Hosier, absolutely, our wedding song is a Hosier song.
Oh.
So,
I love him so much.
Yeah, he's pretty.
I love him so much. He's incredible.
We don't actually have a wedding, but like our song was In a Week by Hosier off that first album, the Work album.
God, Keith, I don't care if you agree or not. I just need to hear you say that you also like Hosier. We're just gonna get that on record, and then we'll move forward from there.
Definitely a band and or person that I have heard of before. No, yeah, of course. I don't.
That is very upsetting. That's upsetting. Well, you have some homework to do.
All right. Well, if you send it to me, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
I have been known to anytime there's like a meaningful song in the Massonomics universe, I will typically at least lift to it, or like when someone dies or something. I let what's going on in my life kind of seep into the gym at times as far as music. With anytime someone like name drops a song is really important to them or something. So you send me like the number one song that would be good in the gym, and I'll pull something heavy to it tomorrow.
What was yours? Not a gym
No.
van, that's for sure.
No. People didn't think "Strawberry Wine" by Deanne Carter was a gym song, and I fucking pulled a PR to it a couple days ago.
Okay,
so
that's true. That's fair.
I'd go against conformity because no one can put me in a box and tell me what to fucking do. No one puts baby
That's
in the corner.
fair. That's fine. I appreciate that. I too also really like being extra sad listening to songs that I know are going to make me feel worse. You got to get all the hurt out at once and then you can move on. I have a playlist on my phone that's just for terribly sad songs for when I need to, have a good sturdy cry and then move on with my day, that I can just hit one of those. And
Okay, what song is that? What's your top like I'm sad and need to be sadder song?
it depends on why I'm sad. If I'm just depressed because I'm depressed, then any of them will work. Let me pull out my sad playlist here and see if I can get a good one for you.
It's called "Sad Emo Girl Cry Cry" on Spotify or something along those lines.
It's called Sadge. SADGE.
Oh, sad girl.
And I don't really have a lot in here right now. I just recently decided that I needed this at my disposal at all times. But the only artists so far that are in here are Sleeping with Sirens, Wage War, Beartooth, Fit for a King, and If I Were You, if that gives you any context at all. I'm sure that answered your question, Keith.
They all sound the same to me.
They all sound the same.
But I definitely do agree that everyone I definitely listen to very emotionally sad songs when I'm like processing shit in the gym at times for sure. That is some of the best therapy I think I've ever had, and like grieving like lost loved family members and stuff. Like
I agree.
I'm for sure listening to some like sappy country song about going and resting high on the mountains as I'm like just killing myself under the barbell. Like that has happened, at pretty much any impactful death in my life on a real personal level. So it's just good to have that, weight of process and vent. It's very helpful.
Songs have the words that you can't think of yourself, right?
Absolutely.
That someone else was able to describe what you're feeling, so you didn't have to. So you can just enjoy that they put in all that work and you didn't have to.
Similar to your sleeve tattoo.
Yep.
So no, when you were a regular at the Massonomics gym, and how was there this would have been, was there probably wasn't as large of a collection as there is now of the iPods, but were you able to hook up your own phone then, or were you stuck to just whatever one of the, did you have to lift a butt rock basically back in the day on?
I love butt rock. So nice. I loved using the Massonomics Gym iPod Touch. It was great. Nice. When Grayson and I would be there on the weekends sometimes and it was just us, then we would hook up our phone and, play something a little heavier sometimes. But if there was a chance that anybody might be there, or like during the week when it was normal time when other people would be there, nothing wrong with a little butt rock.
Nice.
And I think there was 2 different iPods when I was there. So we had the world was our oyster back then,
that's it. I think there's like 6 now.
Is there?
There's definitely many. There's more than 2 when I would tour to the gym, for sure. I think we definitely, some of those I want to save for unpaid, so I've kind of maybe 1 or 2 and then get into a Mount Rushmore, or I'm good with even going into Mount Rushmore. I'm trying to.
I'll do one more music thing while you're reading. Nether Walker. They have like 2 songs, but they're a D&D based deathcore band. Yeah,
that's cool.
So as a Baldur's Gate fan, maybe they'll give you something, but Thine King Weeps for Mercy, I think, is the song that has the weirdest, most goblin-y vocals.
Oh gosh.
But
that's appropriate though, right? If we get goblin vocals on a D&D track, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that.
Keith, you're crossing all the fun stuff.
Oh, No, well, the one was saving it for unpaid, but I'm not sure which other one which, if it's not under unpaid, go at it.
Okay, so I once said on this podcast that for a guy who doesn't believe in ghosts, I have an awful lot of ghost stories. And apparently you do too.
Would you like to hear some?
I want to hear the top one.
Oh, there's multiple. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so I don't know what was going on in my parents' house back in Aberdeen. I think something happened at some point because anytime, well, that's not true. Maybe it's me. It happened at the first house we lived in too. I'll share that one first. I am a twin, and for a while we shared a room. And he was gone. I think he was staying at a friend's house one night. And I was on the top bunk, which was a twin bed. And he had the bottom bunk, which was a full bed. So I'm like, he's gone. I'm living like a king this weekend. I'm sleeping in his big bed, right? And so I'm sleeping down there. I'm totally fine, whatever. I get up in the middle of the night thinking I got to piss. I swing my little feet over the edge and go to stand up. And again, I could have just totally been hallucinating this, and this was a nightmare instead of a thing that actually happened. But I swear something grabbed my ankles from underneath the bed. And so then, of course, I freak out and jump back up on the top bunk where I belong, slept peacefully the rest of the night. And I woke up remembering the next day that I had scratches on my legs around my ankles. So something happened, whatever that was. Then when we moved out to a bigger house, my older brother decided that him and his friends needed to constantly be trying to connect with something via a makeshift Ouija board. And our dog didn't seem to like it. Something was stirring in the air every time they did it that she started freaking out. And so one night they were doing it, I remember I watched, so this isn't BS unless, I'm insane. The board, nobody was touching it, and it flipped over and fell on the ground off the table where it was sitting, all on its own. And I was like, well, that's about enough. I think your friends should leave now. Thank you. No more of that. And the next night after that, the way that our basement was set up, there was one TV and a couch against a wall on this side. And then there was a different TV and couch set up facing a different way so that my brothers could be playing video games and I could watch TV or whatever. The other TV was on, but I was sitting in front of the other one. And all of a sudden, everything shut off, all the lights, the TV, everything shut off. And then I heard footsteps in the carpet in front of me, someone walking. And obviously I was, sitting there alone. And so I run upstairs and all the lights are still on. And I asked my parents, I was like, did the lights flicker? Was there a power thing, whatever? And they're like, no, it's been totally fine. So I slept on the couch that night because I was not about to go back down there and see what was walking around.
Yeah, that one creeped me out. That was all bullshit in my head until the last, when you said I felt or heard steps in the carpet. I just was looking behind me. Is there a motherfucker behind me?
Because you can picture how that sounds exactly. That is what it was, and I was there alone. It wasn't the dog. The dog was upstairs. So,
So if horror movies have taught us anything, you are haunted.
I think so. Yeah, it hasn't followed me here. At least not yet. Maybe now that I've called it into existence again, we'll see if the next week I start having some
that new house.
Yeah,
so you guys bought a haunted house, right? Is that what you bought?
No, definitely a me problem. I don't think my brother's ever complained of anything weird happening.
Not even the one that's a twin.
Yeah, I can't believe we have another twin on here, and we did not at all. It's not in any of the notes, man.
No, I did not. No, I the fuck should. No one's. Well,
not your fault.
Yeah, you think
all
Grayson
the twin jokes in the world, and you think Grayson would have clued in to be by the way, she's a twin.
Yeah, that would have been good. And
unfortunately, a brother, not a sister. He's a foot taller than me, just a gangly little dude.
Unfortunately. Poor guy. He's not listening.
He'll never hear this. It's fine. We can say whatever we want.
I would like to think that at least some people's family members listen. I mean, I don't know. That's And a lot of times when people actually like whoever I reach out to, if I I will send them the show link sometimes too. And I think that caught some people off guard before, so they're like, oh, I didn't know you're actually gonna do this. But I think people have enjoyed it. Let's see. What is I got one here. I don't know if it's actually relevant or not, but someone asked, what would it take for you and Grayson to actually leave South Dakota?
Oh, I'm ready. I have nothing tying me here. I don't care.
No?
But I respect his decision to stay close to his family.
Okay.
Both of his sisters have children, and we're the only two members of both of our families that moved out of Aberdeen. So we're the only two that miss everything when stuff is going on. And so, as much as we can, since they're only 3 hours away, we still go back and see them quite often. And so I'm pretty sure, unless we could also just pick his family up and transplant them wherever we're going, I'm sure that probably won't happen. But I'll go
Yeah.
wherever.
Makes sense. Yeah, but I wish I was three. I mean, 3 hours is kind of like that perfect. Like, you don't have to go home for everything, but you have the option to go home like 5 times a year, and it's not a big.
Mhm.
I'm 6 hours from home, and it's like once a year is hard. Even like it's fucking.
Yeah.
It's like it's I don't know. It's just hard.
I'm 15 minutes away from the rest of my family, and it's hard to commit to go to anything. I don't know about
Why do you think
guys.
I moved? I can use this as an excuse to not see my family, but now we have to go back for his family.
Yeah, I don't know. They're 20 minutes away, and they're like, "Oh, we're having a dinner," and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, the kids and work, and yeah, that's hard."
I already ate.
Yeah, I'm kidding. All right, do you want to move into a little unpaid and underrated?
I mean,
Or do you want
we
to?
gotta at least
No,
let her
yeah,
let her hit them Rushmore. I don't I it's not might not so if you want to do it quickly, do a Mount Rushmore here, big Hannah. So anime. Give me your Mount Rushmore of anime.
Okay.
So
Well,
top four.
so again, um, it's something that I got into later as an adult, right? I started watching it when I was a kid. People back then thought it was weird and that I was weird. And I got bullied out of, or peer pressured out of enjoying things that I liked. So I kind of just recently, in the last 4 years, really started getting back into that. So I haven't seen a ton. So if my list is really mainstream for anybody else out there that spent their whole life watching it, I apologize.
don't apologize to those fucking nerds. Just
Probably or anything. You don't apologize to anybody. Fuck them all.
I just really wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
But it's funny you ask that because I, much like you, have a running tally of every show I've watched ranked in order of how much I liked it.
Wow.
She has her own glaze scale.
That's just on a dock though. There's so many apps for that. Oh my god.
Yeah, whatever.
Can you send that to Nate?
You want to see it?
I want to see Nate absolutely obsess over it for a month.
No, we need him to like keep up to duty on his current tasks.
Okay, so lucky for you, apparently I've already just solid line drawn, picked my top four. Number one, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Hands down, best thing I've ever watched ever. There are also pictures of evidence of me witnessing the last 6 episodes of the series for the first time. And I actually don't think I've ever cried so much in my life. I was crying because it was over and I didn't want it to be. I was crying because it was an absolutely beautiful story. And I was crying because it was sad as shit. Full Metal Alchemist. Easy. Then Attack on Titan. That one just recently finished. I think within the last year, the last season of that came out. And I just recently watched it, and I'm trying to get Grayson to watch it with me again. I'm someone that can watch something 17 times and not really lose the impact. So Attack on Titan is number 2. Jujutsu Kaisen is number 3. That is a series I've watched 4 or 5 times, and it's not even totally out yet. The 2.5 seasons that are out, I've watched it 4 times. I've read the entirety of the manga 3 times already. Love it. And then number 4, Demon Slayer. also just one of the best anime ever. It won Best Animation for season 1, I think, when it came out, and it is deserved. That shit is beautiful. Great show.
I have seen none of those, but I have heard of all of those.
I've heard of 2 of them, I think.
Okay, so question, because again, my wife, she's into that realm of stuff. She's not weeb, but she's into art and stuff like that. Everything you named was a series.
Yes.
So Studio Ghibli movies not on your radar?
Of course it is. Okay. But if there could be a 5th spot, I would just put Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even I like those.
They're so good. Did she watch the newest one?
Which one's that?
It was just in theaters, The Boy and the Heron.
I don't think we've seen that one yet. I think the last one we watched was the weird water witch one. Yep, not going to remember the name. Never going to get into that. So
the weird water witch. Okay.
Yeah, the last one it was something about a kid who could was a fish.
Ponyo.
Yep, thank you, Ponyo. That's the last one we watched. And it was great.
They're all great.
Yeah, all right.
That's more homework for you, Keith.
Yep.
Add it to your list.
So no One Punch Man.
It's good. It's totally good. I love it. It's a great series. It just wasn't not on my top.
Obviously. What about Blue Eyed Samurai? Did you get a chance to watch that yet?
I haven't. No.
Yeah. Again, even I liked that one. And I'm
not too hard to please. I'm sure I'll probably like it.
I don't like much, but I really liked Blue Eyed Samurai. It was one of those things that I started watching and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to finish this, aren't I? And even Morgan was like, you're watching Blue Eyed Samurai? He's like, you shut up. Just let me enjoy this.
You shut your mouth, yeah.
Don't you judge me. Keith,
the biggest issue.
Keith, you'd probably actually like Blue Eyed Samurai. It's pretty violent, but it's a good storyline.
I like Invincible. Now, it's Invincible. Is that considered anime? It's not considered anime, is it? That's just a fucking cartoon TV show.
Yeah, that's just that's American cartoon.
Yeah, that's what I watch. Follow up briefly on your rating system that you have. You said you had them ranked. Now, do you just have them ranked 1 to 100, or do you have this is quadrant that's 9 out of 10, this is 10 out of 10? What is the Hannah scale?
It's 1 through 5, but I also have a plus or minus in there because it's too hard to make a decision.
So you can be a 5+ or a 5,
I just have it at 5 for the top, but 4+, 4 minus, etc. And then that's just how I have it set up there. And there's a couple on here that I'm still in the middle of watching that are just to be determined. But there's a few on here that are at the bottom of the list because, as any anime watcher will tell you, it's hard to find stuff that isn't a little weird and creepy.
Yep, weird.
There's a lot of weird, creepy stuff in some of them, and it'll be 2 seconds of a really cool show, and then that happens because of course it happens, and then you're like, I can't ever tell anybody that I watched this.
and I'm now removed from enjoying it because I'll never forget that stupid. Yep.
So it's unfortunate that has to be in it for some reason, and not all of them. I mean, the top 4 that I gave you, that literally doesn't happen at all ever in the whole series, but it happens too often in the genre as a whole. So be careful if you start dabbling in that, Keith.
Well, I will.
He won't.
Be careful.
He will not dabble.
No,
he will do extensive research, create spreadsheets. Next week
has been trying to get me to watch Attack on Titan for a year that I've known him, and I'm like,
it's so good.
I watched the trailer, and that was about the extent of what I gave him. So maybe someday.
It's so good.
Would play a little unpaid or underrated, a little game.
Little game.
Came up with ourselves, 100% original. Just in case there's any first-time listeners, if any big Hannah's friends are listening for the first time and are curious what the fuck we're talking about. So some people like to play a game called overrated or underrated, but that's too bush league for us. We have unpaid or underrated. Underrated being it's awesome, and unpaid sucks because no one wants to be unpaid. So I'll kick it off. We'll ask you 6 or so things specific to Hannah, and she's going to rate them unpaid or underrated. So, Hannah, number one, I'm gonna go with the Twilight movies.
uh, so considering they were such a smash success, you'd think I would have to say that they're unpaid, right? Those people raked in so much money off of those movies. But if I'm going to answer personally, they're underrated because I've watched them 7 times and they're hilariously bad. I just watched 3 of them in a row the other day. They're absolutely hilarious. Personal note, underrated. I will officially say overrated because so many people have seen them. They made so much money off of that. Those actors got a bunch of other roles because they were in that. I think that's a fair answer.
Yeah. So were you a fan? Like, did someone, I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, did you read the books? Were you a book fan, or you solely like the movies to make fun of them? Like, where are you? I'm trying to figure out because
No, come on, Keith. So I did not read the books. There's like 5 of them and they were huge. I wasn't going to do that.
there's
But
4. Well, I guess there's the.
Oh my God,
Keith,
Keith is a
Keith's
Twilight
big
expert.
Twilight
Oh,
guy.
I've read
Keith's a
every
big
fucking
Twilight
book there ever
guy.
was, you fucks. Twilight's were good books.
Okay, we
I-
heard
Not
it
good
here,
books.
guys.
It was,
Keith
I
is a
was like 20,
Twilight
it was literally 15
expert.
years ago I read them.
Hold on.
I think there is.
Officially on the record, Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Jacob.
I haven't thought about.
I was going to
You're
ask
thinking
you.
about it now.
Probably
You read my
Jacob
mind
in
too,
the
Hannah, because
books,
I was
but
going to ask you the same thing.
probably like Jacob in the books, but I
Definitely
don't
Jacob.
like Taylor Lautner as like the actor. I don't know. I didn't like his character
Because he had bad
He was
wigs.
too short. He was
Yeah,
like fucking
bad wigs.
5'1" too. Like that just threw me
What?
off. He wasn't, but he was very short and
Short
like
Kings, rise up. Nothing wrong with that.
well,
You're fucking 5'1".
give or take. Anyway,
No, I don't watch him to make fun of it. I think that like in because it was something I watched for the first time as a young child, I'm always going to view it through a different lens than if I would have watched it for the first time as an adult.
Yep.
So I laugh at how like poorly done some of the things are, or like how cringy it is that he calls Bella his little spider monkey. And I like to laugh and make fun of it now. But of course, I have genuinely enjoyed watching these movies. I wouldn't continuously sit through and watch them if I was just going to do it for the memes.
The first time I watched it was actually in critical movie theory. And so like it was a class. It was a 3-hour class where you would sit and watch a movie for 2 hours, take a break, and then you'd have to come back and talk about it. And you would be it was a cultural studies course, but specifically also was a movie course where they taught you about movie things like mise en scène and how the audio played and how camera angles worked and everything they did to manipulate your senses and your thoughts and stuff like that. And that movie was genuinely bad from a critical movie theory stance, right?
Yes.
Like just how much
seeing the effects of them running.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they're just on a treadmill.
So there's that. But then even the scene where she first sees Robert Pattinson's character, and you have to then explore the concept of the gaze in movies and how they use eye contact with the camera and with each other. And then there's a fan in that scene that is like
blowing her scent at him, and he literally looks like he's gonna throw up.
Yeah. And it's just like, so like from like a perspective of a movie watcher, you're going, that's awful. But then you're watching it from a perspective of somebody who's literally writing an academic paper on movies going, right? Like they're doing this? Like, oh, it's so gross and manipulative. So
I love it.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't think I've watched a single movie past the first one.
Well, you're missing out.
Well, apparently, because even Keith is a fan.
They're okay. Obviously it's been 20, Jesus, at least 10 years or more.
I'm gonna glaze that while you ask the next question.
If I had to guess, I'd say they're all 6s probably, but maybe.
You gave Twilight a higher rating than Basketball?
I'm sure I did.
Oh, the crew is gonna boot you.
I got your back, Keith. Don't you worry.
Their opinion mattered to me. I would have probably been offended a long time ago.
I got your back.
While Joey looks that up, we're gonna go unpaid or underrated. Big Hannah, let me know about ice cream cake.
Racing. So I'm going to start this off by saying there's nothing wrong with ice cream cake. Okay. Nothing wrong with it. But in the realm of cake, worst cake. It's not cake, it's ice cream with frosting on it. And I don't like showing up to a party where I think there's going to be cake and it's ice cream cake. Because if you tell me I'm going to have ice cream and you have ice cream cake, that's fine. That's the same thing. But if I think I'm going to get cake and you bring out ice cream cake, no, it's definitely unpaid.
Good to know. I've had some good ice cream cakes. I don't know. But I guess I've had some that are definitely a lot more. Like I think Wegmans, we've had them, but like theirs is still like it still really tastes like cakey. But I guess I've had some ice cream cakes that are just like they just taste like really cheap ice cream, and it's just
Yeah.
So I guess I would have to.
It's just ice cream with frosting on it.
Yeah, I think I've had good and bad, but I don't love just plain sheet cake a ton myself. So I guess I'd be good with it.
Is lasagna a cake?
I'm fine with calling it a cake.
Lasagna is fucking amazing. I love lasagna.
I know, I fucking love lasagna too.
I'm fine with that definition. That's good.
I agree. I'm in.
So I'm gonna get my last one here.
You gave the original Twilight 5.3. Just so you know.
That had to be what IMDb gave it, because I don't think the glaze scale is on a one number interval. So
okay,
Nate's gonna be so mad at you that you thought that
I don't know how it works.
Yes.
The fuck is the internet?
Mad at me because
IMDb rating was 5.3. You gave it a 6.
Yeah, I bet I gave all 3 of them or all 4 of them, because the last one they broke up into 2 movies. Let's see. So yeah, I would assume I gave them all 6s, but
Basketball you gave a 4.
I can re-rate it to a 5 if you'd like. But
no, you're gonna rewatch it and report back.
That's a lot of. I don't have 2 hours to do that.
You don't. You're gonna watch so many things you hate in the meantime.
Okay. So,
you go.
What was my last one? I gotta make sure. Okay, so Big Hannah, unpaid or underrated clowns.
A big fat unpaid. Clowns are the devil. They're awful, they're scary, and they're bad. And I hate them a lot. There's no reason for them to look like that. They don't need to act like that. And why? Why? And if you like clowns, don't.
What would be worse? So would a ghost clown be worse than an in-person, a live clown?
Of course
absolutely.
It would. That's so worse. Unless we're talking like, what was that? Was that 2013 or something where the clowns were like walking around towns with like machetes and shit? That would be pretty terrifying. You don't remember that? Was it a Midwest thing?
What's worse, a regular clown or a zombie? Like you fucking...
Well, no, because it was a harken on her talking about ghosts, so it was more to like I wanted her to have the horrible mental image of a fucking ghost clown. But,
well, that's nice of you.
But it could be. But what if it was like just a friendly clown? Like not all.
They're like not. Bozo. None of them are. None of them are.
Bozo the clown was pretty friendly.
I don't know Bozo. I don't need to know Bozo. That's fine. But okay, so there's a thing in Aberdeen. I'm sure it happens other places too. They call it the haunted forest because out in Storybook Land every year for Halloween they have a lot of places around town that like agree to set up this big thing that everybody can walk through with like a theme, right? For Halloween. They have like a daytime showing where they're not scary and they hand out candy for the kids. And then when you show up at night, they're allowed to try to scare you. And there was one year that the entire thing was clowns. And I unfortunately went with my best friend, Eric, who knew that I hated clowns. And I started legitimately panicking, right? And for a good portion of it, my eyes were closed. And I started just kind of like trying to just hide in him. And then I didn't know at the time he was pointing at me to signal them over. And one of them came up from behind and whispered in my ear, and I think I shat pants.
And it wasn't a first date though, right? Because it was a friend.
Yeah, it was my buddy Eric. No, he was just being a dick.
I know. So was I just now, but that's okay.
Oh my God, no! They've always been terrible and scary, but that really sealed the deal.
Yeah, that would the whole whispering in my ear thing would definitely catch a fucking elbow for sure.
Yep, sure did.
Well.
So just to clarify, unpaid.
Unpaid.
So not underrated.
So
yeah,
we won't be talking about Pennywise the Clown tonight.
Okay.
All right, I guess I'm gonna ask a few.
Have at it.
I guess it's my turn. Unpaid or underrated manga?
Oh, I love it. I'm just going to say underrated because I don't think enough people read it. And I personally don't know enough people that read it. I like it because it's a lot of pictures, right? So it's not so daunting as picking up a book, right? Your simple brain can follow along. Unless you're Grayson and you don't like having to read backwards, because obviously it's Japanese, so it opens from the opposite side. So you have to read it backwards, where you're flipping from left to right instead of right to left.
That would actually bother me.
Currently, I only read on my phone. I just pay a subscription to have online access to it. So I just have to swipe to the left. But I am waiting until I have solidified my Mount Rushmore when all the series are done. And then I'm only going to buy the sets for the ones that I really like and then read them all again.
All right. Unpaid or underrated TikTok?
I think by principle, I have to say unpaid because there's 180 million people just in America alone that use it. I can't really say it's underrated, but thanks to having a work from home job where I seem to be really efficient at it. And let's just say hypothetically, I have a lot of downtime during the day. That fills up a lot of time. And it's great because I can still be at my desk. I'm not really committed to anything because the videos are under a minute long. That if I do suddenly need to actually be working, I can just drop it and not worry about it. You know, it's not like if I would try to listen to like a podcast or watch like a full YouTube video where I'm constantly starting and stopping it. So my screen time for TikTok is probably embarrassing.
Same. And the algorithm is so perfect. It just only shows you things you want to see. I got a lot of cat videos, a lot of cooking videos. Yeah.
My For You page is pretty insane.
I feel like I could delete it at any second and be fine though, right? Like
yeah. I'm not like gonna make it 3 days and be like I can't do it and like break down and have to do it again. But it is very nice to have. Yeah. If the ban goes through, I'll survive.
It's taken me about 5 years to miss Facebook. And even then, someday, like, I'm like, I should probably just get back on there. There's like a few people I miss. And then my brain goes, no, there isn't. All right. Unpaid or underrated energy drinks?
Ooh. Again, it's so hard because technically, if I'm going to be accurate, I mean, they're obviously really popular. Look at how many people drink them, how big these companies are, and just the selection of them that show up in stores when you buy them. I can't really say that they're underrated, but I love them. They're great. And if it kills me, it kills me. If I'm going to die from something, I'm going to have an energy drink in hand. If it's going to calcify my heart from the inside out from whatever battery acid and shit is in there, that is fine by me. They are delicious.
Do you have a preferred?
I will never turn down a Monster Zero Ultra, the bumpy cans. But for just pure flavor, the the rainbow sherbet rain is top, and then almost any of them from Ghost.
Yep. Oh my God. Yep. The Ghost one is what I was gonna go if you didn't.
That strawbango margarita or whatever
Thank
is
you.
absolutely
The
delicious.
pink lemonade one,
So good.
I cracked it open in the car. The whole car smelled amazing, and there's creatine
Mm-hmm.
in it. So
Mm-hmm.
suddenly now I'm going from 5,000 to 6,000
Hmm.
milligrams of creatine a day because I'm just also having an energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
And the 200 milligrams, like, I only buy the American Ghost energy drinks. If it's Canadian, I don't care what it is. But if it's Ghost, I will not drink the Canadian ones because they're only 160 milligrams. And
Really?
yeah, and they don't have the creatine. So I can buy them for $4 a can, or I can buy them for $5 a can and get all the stuff I want. But
That's
The
awesome.
Ghost ones are top tier.
And the
Absolutely.
branding. I'm a bitch that likes a pretty picture. The colors, like the
Yeah.
art that they have on it, like it looks cool. And like their other like merch and stuff that they have, like the branding of the company looks really
Yeah.
cool. I'm like a moth to a light bulb. It's a pretty thing. I'm like that. I want that one.
Actually, I just did an order from them because they released the ocean water, the electrolytes, and
Oh,
yeah, delicious. But everything they do is amazing. Actually, every supplement in my house right now is either them or Norse Fitness. But the stickers they send are awful. Morgan was like, because my wife is an artist, she's like, I'm gonna go through these and I'm gonna tell you why they all suck. And
Uh,
she like laid down every sticker and was like, that's why this one is boring and that's why this one is boring. And I don't know what they did this time around, but yeah, it was pretty bad. But yeah, definitely Ghost. I'm with you on that one.
mhm.
Oh, Keith is looking sleepy.
Keith
I'm
is
here.
sleepy. Sleepy
Keith,
Keith.
Keith,
I've
give me an
been
ad read.
very everybody, you guys know who we are. You know who we support and who helps support us. So help us buy that speedboat. Go ahead and use code unpaid for Obsidian. I actually need to figure out a way to get a new can of that myself, a new bottle. The one I have is definitely getting a little old, but I like very plain. I literally think it's just straight up like cat piss ammonia. So I don't want any of those added scents in mine. So I think I've already even talked to Joey about that before, and he gave me an answer, but I never took notes on that. If you don't like obsidian ammonia, go ahead and fuck yourself and use our code anyway. Barbell Rescue, that is it's a big one that we've been getting a lot of guys buying that over the last few months. I haven't seen any purchases come through recently, but if you've been on the fence about it, go ahead and pull the trigger. Barbell Rescue. Kim's a great guy, good company, great product. Code unpaid will save you, 10%. Plate Snacks, that's where we get all our stickers from. That's where Dodzilla makes his Tommy and Tanner plate decals that make the shaft look like they're peckers, and it's just the most funny thing ever. So use code unpaid at Plate Snacks, save on some stickers, banners, and decals. And last but not least, Home Gym Con. If you guys are anywhere close to French Lick, Indiana, next month, and you're not making a plan to come to Home Gym Con and see us, Tommy Tanner, Belt Fed, Luck, Kurt Locker, me, Coach Carp. I know I'm forgetting
Hogan's
Hogan.
gonna be there. Huck
Uh,
Finn now is gonna be
yep, Huck
there.
Finn. There's a couple other guys. So there's many a crew there. So it'll be a blast. Code unpaid will save you a couple bucks. Even it's a 2-day event too. So if you only make one day, that's you got options all day Friday or all day Saturday. Tanner and Tommy do leave Saturday afternoon, like early Saturday afternoon. So if you're coming, I would make sure you're there first thing Saturday morning, or just be there all day Friday and hang out with the boys and us. So that's the ad reads this week. And that'll move us into if Big Hannah has anything that she wants to torture us with. I think
I
she's been working diligently. I think she's gonna have some good ones.
I
She has
have a couple
notes.
questions. I have notes. I took notes. I apologize, Joey. I think my questions for Keith are funnier, but just to focus on you first, we already talked about the big karaoke bash.
Mhm.
What is your first song going to be? What is your debut of the century going to be at karaoke? And will you accept a duet request? Are we
Uh,
going to make a real show of this?
okay, yeah. Well, those are two separate questions. So I vary sometimes between country rock, like butt rock. I do a pretty solid rendition of Ace of Spades, but I can rap as well. Um, which is unexpected in most scenarios. I think I was it on this podcast I talked about the first time somebody threw me up with Kanye
buddy was
West.
just
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do this.
Mhm.
And then I was just like, well, I guess I can. I don't know, because like I haven't done a new song in 5 years. Like I said, I have not gone to karaoke since my kids were born. So, might, if nobody takes it from me, maybe some Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit might be my break the ice with you guys to see how much you care about whether I can sing or not. As far as accepting duets, probably not. Every duet karaoke song fucking sucks. I don't want to do Picture.
I got you, babe.
Don't want to do I Got You Bag. I don't want to do Picture by Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock. I'm definitely not doing Paradise by the Dashboard Light because I've never met anybody that can, and I can't. So unless you're coming up and doing a Muppets song with me, we're probably not going to do that. If you could pull off the Native Howl and Lizzie Hale, maybe. Maybe, but I doubt we've even heard that song or it's even available on karaoke. So there you go. That's my answer. Probably Limp Bizkit. Break Stuff.
That's fair. All right. Well, you got a couple months to practice. So get all the jitters out now.
I told Morgan there's 2 places here that do them a little early, right? So like a Sunday night at 7. Well, the kids' bedtime's not till 8:30. Like we have an hour where we could go and the kids can mock me. Like, let's go. So maybe we'll see.
Mocked by kids and crew.
Yep.
Love it. Okay, let's see. What else did I have for you? Oh, so I know we talked about, your eating and your spiciness. I want to hear either your take in general on hot ones or what's the spiciest thing that you've ever eaten.
Hot ones, I think that there's a level of stupidity to it that I'm not willing to subject myself to. So I enjoy hot that I enjoy. And sometimes that means I push it a little too far and that might be too hot. And like the one chip challenge, probably too hot at the time. And then I looked back like an hour later and was like, yeah, I'd fucking do it again. Like it wasn't that hot, but I also have the devil's toe. So the one chip challenge is 1 million Scovilles. The devil's toe is a sucker that is 5 million Scovilles. And my brother is like, let's do it. Let's do it. And I'm like, I bought them and I went, no, because that's your own spit trying to kill you. Like I am not that interested in that. So hot ones I think is really fun because, you actually can, like when you're eating hot stuff, you will hallucinate. You will say stupid shit and it's almost as bad as being drunk sometimes. There's 2 scenarios in which the hottest thing I ever ate. So the one chip challenge, obviously was probably one of the hottest things I ever ate. There was a time that I went to the mall and I went to the just random like Japanese stir fry place. And I said, just make it as hot as you can. And the girl went, yep. Didn't even ask. And then I was like, I don't know if I trust that.
You said, haha, I'm in danger.
Yep. And she did. I FaceTimed Morgan. Like we were just together. This is like right when we had just started seeing each other. And I was FaceTiming her while I ate. And I was like, oh my God, I don't think I can eat this. Like this is actually too hot for me. And they were just those little Thai peppers. Like they weren't even anything insane. I was like, I don't think I can eat this. This is actually way too hot. And I caved. She's like, yeah, you're red. You need to put that back. And then there was another time where I ordered, there was a place up the street from me when I lived downtown in the city. And I asked for their ghost pepper wings. And he was like, yeah, sure. And he sent them out. And like, I ate a bite. It's like, this is too hot. This is stupid. And then later that night, I had been party rocking, actually. We're not even partying. I was party rocking that night. And we went home and I laid on the floor of the living room of our apartment, eating those wings, crying. and she'll tell you the story if she's ever here or she's ever, you ever ask her. Full on in tears, bawling. This is so hot. Why am I still doing it? And I still fucking ate them.
Did you eat the last one?
Oh, I was going to ask him.
I actually don't remember because again, party rocking. But yeah, she's like, I distinctly remember the time. She's like, I had to. No, I didn't eat them because she took them away because I wouldn't stop. I would not stop. Again, full tears.
Hurt himself.
Every hole on my head, my ears, my nose, my mouth, my eyes, just watering. Going, why am I doing this? They're so hot, but they're so good. Yeah, she took them away from me that night. That guy made a good hot sauce on some good chicken wings. Absolutely.
That's awesome. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that again. Nope. My brother. Oh, I ate a ghost pepper last week raw. Why? I wanted to see if I could. I wouldn't even do that, and I'm stupid.
Yeah, I won't even eat a jalapeno raw, so no thank you.
No, raw jalapenos just taste like spicy dirt. I wouldn't. You don't do that on purpose. Pickled jalapenos, top tier. Raw jalapenos.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, Keith, are you ready?
Hit me.
Let's go.
So, the first one here, I don't remember. I think it was on Big Melissa's episode where you, thankfully for me, let slip that you enjoyed a celebrity sex tape. What other lovely celebrity sex tapes have you enjoyed?
All of them, probably. I don't think there's many that I have not. I believe there was Joe.
You watched them all?
I have not seen Drake flopping his cock around. I think that was going around recently. I did not go to my way to find that. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like as a fucking 8, 15, 16, 17, 18, year old, it's like I'm watching all that shit as an adult. I don't know. I don't think I've seen a celebrity. Has there been any worth watching in the last 20 years? I don't know. But
well, I had a list prepared of top celebrities just in case you asked me for a specific one. So this
will be a yes or no. I'm probably not going to give you a glaze scale, but
I think a glaze scale would be very appropriate.
Sounds like
considering the topic here. So obviously the elephant in the room, Kim K, is one that I think we've all watched.
Oh yeah. That one's
Joey's out.
No,
okay.
Never saw it.
I'm with you on that one, Keith. Okay. What about Mini Me himself, Fern Troyer?
I have not.
He released the sex tape.
Was that the one with the guy from Saved by the Bell?
No, that's Screech.
What?
Wasn't Vern Troyer in that with him?
No, I think Vern Troyer fucked one of his Austin Powers castmates for his. I think Screech was a separate one.
Yeah, Dustin Diamond, not Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Of course you know that name.
Yeah, I have not seen the Screech sex tape either.
I think he has.
I think
the fact that he was ready, he's like, no, actually, that's
no.
Dustin Diamond, more like Dust My Diamond.
No.
Oh God. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
Don't apologize for this one either. I did lie. So for you guys listening at home, they asked me what other episodes I listened to of this podcast, the other crew members, and I left one of them out. I did also listen to episode number 2, Big Chris Daminger. And at 3 minutes and 7 seconds, Keith, you said that you were reviewing the episode from the week before, and you were glad that you had the chance to see it and, see what you could improve on and do going from here on out, right? You said you were going to talk slower and more clearly. How do you think that's going?
I has to be a success. Even if I still talk 20% faster than Joey, I used to talk 60% faster than Joey.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna call it an immaculate porn star fucking sex tape fucking success. I'm gonna say it's extremely successful. Do I still talk too fast? Maybe, but I don't know. My buddy said he listened to me on 1.5 all day and comprehended everything. So I don't know. Probably couldn't have done that 9 months ago.
A good answer.
I agree.
Could it be?
You stood your ground. You were ready to launch back at that one.
No, I agree. I like that. If I was 60% too fast, now I'm only 20% too fast. That's absolutely true. And hey,
it's a good improvement. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, fucking right it is.
Okay, and then not a question, but you know how we kind of briefly touched on the fact that it seems like everyone was coincidentally on the same page about wanting to do something special for the day before the meet, for the Lift Hard, Lift Easy with the shirts and whatnot. Another suggestion. This was something I said to Tanner at Crew Falls that I just want to put out here so that it's not just on Tanner if this happens or not, or if everybody forgets about it. I think, especially considering the sparkling hot dog water that was shared in the Discord today, we need a mystery can exchange as a fun little crew activity. That you bring a mystery can and we'll just roll the dice and whoever gets it, and then we just have to drink whatever's in the can.
People are going to go to their way to find the most disgusting piss water. Like, there's just going to be gallons of maple water.
No, because that's not fair, because then they're also going to get, like,
Yeah.
if you put one in, you have
Karma.
to drink one.
Yeah.
So if you think you're going to show up with your dirt water or your hot dog water or your, like, whatever water, then you also have to pull one out.
Yeah.
Nobody else did that to you. So everybody, I think, and I might be out to lunch on this one. Please, crew, correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's a lot of us that want to be higher on the rating scale. So my PC waters, everything I've sent them or dropped off has been 4 or above. And I hold pride to that. So I'm not going to show up with something so disgusting it bothers people. I'm going to maintain my 4 or above. And I would think most of us are like that too. Like, I found the best tasting one. And then obviously somebody's going to be like, oh, I brought you jalapeno dick cheese or whatever. Like, somebody's going to do that.
God, it might be the episode title.
But like, and that person will probably get judged a little. And they say who it was.
We be able to do that though, because we can't bring. I can't bring a water. I can't bring beverages through and a carry on. I mean, I guess I can go check back.
Ship it to Tanner's house preemptively.
That actually makes sense too.
Yeah,
I love it. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
because I showed up with Keith's and PC Water last year and at the Arnold. Not a bad idea.
You're welcome.
Good deal.
If it was a good idea, I take credit for it. If it sucks and it was a terrible idea, it was not me.
It was Grayson,
right?
Yeah, it was Grayson.
He won't remember anyway.
He'll forget that he said it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So I mean, he told us the story. The story came up after the fact. I don't think anyone's actually like physically told the story other than just in like DMs. Do you want to tell us, for anyone listening that hasn't actually, like, I'm sure there might be some listeners that aren't super in the Discord, just tell us the birthday story.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, unfortunately for me, it seems like something bad just always happens on my birthday. So that's why it was kind of even funnier that this happened this year. Nobody remembered my birthday. And again, let me just remind you all, Grayson and I have been together for over 7 years. So that's 7 birthdays that he has remembered. And it's not like he totally forgot that it was coming up. We were literally talking about it like the night before. He just happened to wake up and not say anything that morning. And so I had to text him after he left for work. You fucking forgot my birthday, dude. And then he immediately called me and felt really bad. And I just made him, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have made him feel bad about it if everybody else didn't also forget my birthday. So all of that blame just gets to go on Grayson because he should have remembered.
Well, yeah, the closest people in your life usually take the blunt of the force.
Yep. To be fair, if you told me right now, if you said to me right now, when is Morgan's birthday? Well, it's December 21st. I know that, 1989. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you turned to me today and said, is today December 21st? On December 21st, I'd go, oh, fuck, I don't know. Right? And I think that that's the problem is I know my mom and my brother and my wife, I know every day, I know I can name their birthday, like, you know, Oren is June 3rd, Saga is December 1st. But if you were to turn to me and ask me, is today that day? I had no clue.
Well, and like I said, we talked about it the day before. He's like, where do you want to go to dinner tomorrow for your birthday? It's not like he had no idea. He just woke up and he's like, any other Tuesday. Let's
Today's
go to work.
Tuesday.
Bye.
See ya. No, absolutely. And that's what I mean.
That's why it's funny.
I'm on vacation.
I don't remember, why did I bring it up in the Discord? Because it was months later.
No, it was Grayson's birthday. I'm friends with a bunch of people on Facebook, so that's the only way I know it's anyone's birthdays. So then I always like to share that in on the Instagram on the podcast just for content and stuff. And then I think you either, or maybe we might have even said it in the Crewcast channel or something possibly. And then you literally just out of left field hit us with it wearing your fucking Massonomics baseball shirt, hitting us out of left field with that, and it was great. And we loved it, and it was awesome. And I've been doing a fucking cake reaction to anything Grayson's commented for the past 6 months, and it's been hysterical.
It's funny. It's hilarious.
And like everyone else does, like not everyone, but there are more than 10 people that have commented a cake on his fucking anything he says. And
I love it.
But also, it's literally impossible to remember Hannah's birthday. That's my new stance on that one.
Mm-hmm. It's also apparently impossible to order a gift that shows up on time. It's always like the day after or like 2 days later. It never shows up on my birthday either.
Sucks.
No, it's funny because no matter how like early he
even like a month early.
It's just like it just won't show up on time. So I think I should just change my birthday. I think I should just shift it a little bit, and then we just don't have to worry about it. Cut him a little slack.
Just have it on the Friday. So what's that going to be? 7/19. So every Live Hard Live Easy, just your birthday is the Friday. Wherever that falls on.
And then we'll all celebrate your birthday.
Literally 100-person party every time. That'll be awesome.
That sounds good. I like that.
We will tank our meat every year for you by getting hammered in Tanner's backyard.
Oh, God.
All right, so I just got the message. Sounds like it's going to be a good episode. You've been cackling like a basket case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you guys made me laugh a lot.
This was fun. Hannah's very personable. It's always a crapshoot.
Personable.
Like, almost no. Some people are harder to talk to. Some people are like,
I know.
Struggle. So it's always a pleasure when someone's just bubbly and chatty the entire night, and it makes our job easier.
I was gonna apologize before we started and let you know that I'm a certified yapper.
On
a podcast, that's a bad thing. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So should we get Big Matt on the horn? Or mostly squat videos?
This will be the time. I feel it. Yeah, he'll answer this time. He's ready.
Well, we'll give him a call next time. All right. Do you want to bring this in on home there, Keith?
Yep, we already mentioned the affiliates, but again, code unpaid on any of them helps us save some money, puts a little money in our pockets, and we'll be able to pay for some speedboats. Instagram,
you're getting paid?
Fine. No, I'm still in the hole, but not as much. And I'm like looking at laptops now too, so I'm like, fuck, I'm really gonna be in the hole. So yeah, that's my new thing is help me buy a new laptop. Instagram, go ahead and follow us at Unpaid Intern Podcast, the website, unpaidinternpodcast.com. We have a YouTube. We don't have enough followers. There's at least 50 of you listening to this episode that do not follow us on YouTube. So please go ahead and log into your Google. I know it takes 3 seconds, and just give the podcast a follow on YouTube so we feel more validated about ourselves and the content that we create here. I'm Big Keith Honeycutt 73. Go follow my Orange Jam, the No Wine Cellar, and Joey. Where are they going to find you at?
At Instagram, Joey_Malesko. Fun thing, losing followers lately when I post about every time I post about my family or I post like just a generic selfie, I lose followers, which is great because I wonder the fuck were you here for in the first place? Just gotta know what brought you here. And then that was the thing. Other big thing, leave us some reviews on Apple Podcasts. I've been looking through the Canadian ones. I don't have access to the American ones, but like there's not a ton of reviews. So like if you can, like just shoot us a 5-star. You don't even have to say anything. Just help us help other people find this stupid shit. Help other people come in and listen and go, these guys are dummies. I want in, and then they can join the Massonomics crew, Massonomics/join, and just like become part of all of this insanity. Hannah, where are we going to find you?
You can follow me on Instagram at h.bowling, bowling spelled with an H instead of a W. I don't ever post things, but I'm better about looking, so I'll like your stuff, even if you don't like mine.
Well, that sounds, everyone go give Hannah a follow. And, when you see Mana talking to you on Discord, it's Hannah. And, we'll do our best to remember her birthday. And until then, we'll see you next Tuesday.